Roy's trying to counter it. Percocet gets the knock.
Oh, another one.
Quick counter.
The trade. Sam with the drop shot from behind. Unsuccessful on that. J7 coming in for the support.
Yes, he's back. It's Max on Imperium. We are back once again, but for the final time for the group stage right here. Here's day 6 for the full split European PMCO group stage. And after today, Imperium, we'll be having the top 24 teams crowned. I'm ready to go straight to the semi-finals, and 8 teams shall fall at the end of the broadcast. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Hoping you're having an absolutely fantastic weekend, and hopefully we'll be able to close it off in style with some epic gameplay.
Now you might be thinking, Max, well, why do I have a wrestling ring as my background image? Well, I think it's pretty fitting considering the amount of teams that are fighting to qualify into the top 24. Feels like it's a battle royale moment. All these teams that are just trying to fight and survive, they'll have to tag each other in. Some might go down early on. They have 4 games, 4 chances, and I think it's going to get pretty crazy indeed.
Gonna get pretty tense over there on the battlefield, and I can't wait to jump just into the action of today. It's going to be a lot of intense and really fun action. We're going to have 4 games coming our way as always, but it's going to be not between Group A and Group D. That was yesterday. Really good matchups. Godsend absolutely dominating yesterday. Standing currently was 199 points. Not quite 200, so once again, my OCD is triggered. Yeah, a little bit triggered right there, but that's completely okay. Godsend popping off in style and currently number 1 position in the overall standings. But today is going to be Group B versus Group C, and a lot of those teams are currently in the bottom 8 position, so we're going to have a big boy race happening in today's games.
Yeah, with all due respect to the teams who are kind of in the bottom half of the standings, you've done enough. You're fine. Cool. You'll have your moment in the semi-finals. The focus has to be on the teams down in the bottom half, right? Of course, the teams that aren't playing today, like YAKUZA, The Real Deal, XTEAM, and Best Friends Forever, they're going to be, biting their nails looking at these 4 games. But to help some of these teams, I don't believe, and I could be wrong, and I'm open to be proven wrong, I don't think Magic, TSC Legends, Nox, and Carbide Courses have what it takes to get into the top 24, because not only do they have to climb over each other, but they're going to have to climb over Gaijin Universe, or Romanian Squad, BeMyLOOT, and of course Omega Dragons, even for Romanian men. It's so tough, and they're along scrambling over each other. I just think it's going to be too hard for them. Plus, I don't believe they've looked strong enough. Whereas I feel like Gaijin Universe and Romanian Squad can definitely get up there.
Which I think like Gaijin Universe can definitely get some really good results. Like even the teams up there like Omega Dragons, 4 Romanian Men, YAKUZA PX, they're still not safe and sound, so they're gonna have to put some really good results. But the thing is with YAKUZA Power, not only the fact that they don't have a lot of points difference, was currently 25th position, held by Romanian Squad with 56 points, but there's just also not many teams separating them. Like you can make a difference between, even if you don't have to get too many points to make a difference, if you got like 5 teams, 10 teams beyond you, then sure, you can maybe remain up there. Unfortunately, YAKUZA have 4 spots above 24th, and after that, that's the red zone. That's direct elimination away from the group stage, and I think that will be potentially, at least in the group stage, a really big surprise, because I was potentially not expecting to see YAKUZA in such a dire position so early on.
And even after winning a game in Miramar, they just really shouldn't be that low down. Okay, you look at BFF in 17th, and they've got a chicken dinner, but that was on the final day for them. Yesterday's games, of course, they pulled out such a strong result and such a strong day indeed. Look, the reason why I say Gaijin Universe and Romanian Squad specifically is because BeMyLOOT, they were in 24th, and even Omega Dragon. So in theory, if they stay where they are, okay, because I do think they're going to get enough points to overtake YAKUZA and The Real Deal and XTEAM. But the thing is that if Gaijin Universe and Romanian Squad all get enough points to also overtake YAKUZA, The Real Deal, and XTEAM, we could see those 3 teams get eliminated.
Like for all of those teams down there, it's going to be Carpe Diem. You're going to have to live it like it's your final day on Earth. Well, at least in PMCO specifically, I think on Earth might be a little bit of a stretch. So we'll keep it grounded for the time being. But with that said, we talked over the bottom 16 team. We know exactly what's at stake for today. And of course, that's a lot of stake. So for the hungry boys, you better get some good results, especially while I say steak. Chicken dinner is what you're aiming to try and get for yourself. But also now we talked about the bottom 16 teams. I'm going to say, even though we already know that the top 16 teams, they're pretty nice and dandy, but just for the statements of how these teams are performing so far in PMCO, how they can be performing potentially not only now the group stage, but also into the semi-finals, in the finals, even the regional finals, I think is a good recommendation. Do we go and take a quick look? And as I said earlier, right, Godsent standing with, I'm not going to say 199 because it still triggers me. They got 200 points. Great stuff on them. Atlantes Cycle currently in second position, but today playing are the Noisy Boys and GS Europe both in Group B. So they've been together for quite a long period of time, fighting up against each other, and they're still both in third and fourth position respectively with 137 points, 52 kills each. They are even Stevens in any way, shape, and form. I'm loving it so far.
Yeah, and you're dead right, because something I touched upon yesterday with the aggressiveness and the control, the way Godsent played, there was a certain level of, well, are they doing it because they want to put the fear in the eyes of their opponents? And you could say the same potentially for the Noisy Boys and Atlantes Cycle, right? Are they the Noisy Boys and GSG, are they going to be thinking, okay, we need to kind of one up Godsend, we need to, we need them to know that we can match their results, we can match their performances in these games at the highest level of European PUBG Mobile action. Because let's not forget, Godsend, not only are they at 200 points -1, they also got the highest points scored in one day so far of the PMCO EU. 95 points over 4 games. Not one bad game at all over 10 points. Of course, magically. And yeah, so I'm expecting the Noisy Boys and GSG to come in swinging. And if they do that and they absorb a lot of the points that could be possible for the lower teams, could we see the likes of Universe guys in a Romanian Squad struggle even more, if that makes sense?
We can definitely try and put a little bit of a dent in their own scores. I think we saw something similar come from the Sirens yesterday. Didn't quite work out as expected, but they sent 2 players towards YAKUZA's player next to Rozhok, and I think there was definitely an intention of potentially trying to shut down that attempt from YAKUZA power to qualify, and I think it did definitely have a little bit of an impact, even though it was just 2-3 kills going over to YAKUZA. But I think that definitely we can see some kind of playstyle like that happening in today's game, so I think it could be very intriguing. But we talked about the Noisy Boys and also GS Europe trying to aim for that #1 position, because not only would it be in #1 position, but the most important thing is if you are in the #1 position, and I think this is something a lot of people are actually forgetting, if you're #1 position, you can put that in your Twitter bio, which I'm not gonna lie, that's the most epic thing ever. You know what? Twitter bio, #1 PMCO full split Europe. I mean, that's the most epic flex you can get. But with that said, I'm gonna flex our way over into game #1 as the plane is in the air.
Oh my lord, nothing but a bit of flexing for PMCO EU. The potential is wild, it's just wild indeed. And I think it was Junke from Clay GLA, if I'm not mistaken, that said to you in the PMCO server, watch us today. So are they going to come in swinging as well? Very, very exciting indeed. But this plane path is also, it's not so much exciting. It's on the south, going from the northeast down to the south, northwest down to the southeast.
I'm just hoping that with this kind of plane path, Karabakh horses, they are currently in a very, very dangerous position in Pyramid. Then the bottom 8 teams, they need to get some good results right now. And they got to normally drop in Yasnai Polyana. So are they going to go for the stretch that we saw happen to Inside Games yesterday? Even though Inside Games, they were pretty dandy in the overall standings. But I want to see, are they going to try and stretch it? Or maybe do they have now a secondary drop in play that could maybe redeem this game and this plane path for them?
I think they're going to go for the stretch in terms of stop around the school area, grab a vehicle or 2, and then go over to Yasnaya. 1, because teams are less likely to be there. Most teams in these groups tend to like to drop around the southwest and the southeast anyway, in my eyes, or the northwest in terms of Roscoe, especially when you look at the plane trajectory. So it's going to give them more space to rotate, especially with this phase 1 circle.
Yeah, going to go a little bit high up north next to shooting range. Still, it's going to be just about 50-50 split ready with the river. So here you're going to have to take a little bit of a gamble. And the teams that like to drop like TSC Legends, Universe, maybe send 2 players up north, 2 players down south. A little bit like Orange Rock and PMWL East. That would be a playstyle that could try and, make up for unfortunate and very hard circle shift that could not go in your favor.
So YAKUZA currently lying in 21st overall in the standings, average of 9.25 points per game. They should be pretty solid unless they have an absolute nightmare of a game. But dropping early to a couple of teams won't make it too easy for them if a couple of players get taken out. We've seen Uzi and Luco really step up in my eyes for YAKUZA. Of course, the whole team plays their part, but really, in my eyes, Uzi and Luco have been the ones to stand out for their team.
I think like also time is like really the entire team of YAKUZA PX have some really great individual performances and you know potential, I would say, going into this PMCO. Yeah. So I think it's really they are a new team in terms of like in the scene as a whole. We know maybe they've been playing together for like months on end, maybe even years on end, but it's just the first time we actually see this team in PMCO on the international official stage. So that is also a really big achievement. And you know what? On the first, you know, making it to PMCO on itself is a really a big statement. You're part of the best 32 European teams as a whole, so that's already huge. But now we can see if in their first PMCO experience, can they make it to the semi-finals? Can they qualify? Still not there quite yet, but I'm sure they can try and pursue their way through.
Yeah, they should be pretty good. Should be pretty good indeed. Time to shine. We know that they've looked overall the strongest in Erangel. They did get a win in, oh my god, I forget what other map. I think it was Vikendi.
Which team?
Time to shine. I now forget what other map they got a chicken dinner, and I believe it was Vikendi, but I could be wrong. So they have shown that they can get strong results in other maps. Yes, it was.
It was. I just checked.
It was Vikendi. And yeah, but I am expecting a stronger day for them because they are a newly formed roster. Of course, we know Will, we know Daddy from the previous PMCO. They have the competitive experience individually, but putting that together as a squad is always going to take time. So as we get through the end of the group stage into the semi-finals, I do want to see that evolution shine and the synergy build up.
Yeah, they're like a newly formed team, but not a newly formed talent. Like the talents are definitely there. And they're a team that I think we can expect the most growth from into PMCO. Like building up that synergy, getting better as time goes by is something that could definitely happen for time to shine. So I'm really intrigued to see if that can indeed happen. GSG Europe, the team that has been potentially one of the biggest surprises in this tournament. They're just going to be going for their southern rotation. As they go, they started rotating a lot earlier, which I think is really good because they've been starting to get a lot more dominant and aggressive position to hold on to. And they've been able to transition those positions in pretty decent results over the entirety of this tournament.
True, but on their day two, they didn't have the most consistent results. They, you know, even though 52 points in 4 games might not sound too bad, when you consider they got 85 in their day one, you know, I was maybe expecting a bit more consistency. Their second and third game on their second day of games, they only got 7 and 5 points respectively. So, but then again, you know, with them trying different things like earlier rotations and different play styles, that's where you might see slightly less consistent results. And I think it's okay when they'd pretty much secured their semi-final spot from day one alone. So I will respect that. Maybe that was the case.
Yeah, it can happen from time to time to have a little bit of a weaker day. But you know what? We can't really hold it to them. They still did some really good results as a team. Didn't really show up to the scrims at all. And just absolutely popping the head off right away. It was a big surprise for many of us in the tram for sure. So it's maybe a good time to be a GSG European fan as a Nox under fire. BeMyLOOT looking for those impressive shots early on versus Nox. Nox, a team that has to get some good results in Imperium today, so they're going to take this one extremely passive. They hear the gunshots, they're like, okay, we don't want to take this. We're just rolling away, trying to find a better, safer spot.
They should change their name from Nox to Don't Want to Get Knocked, because that's going to be the aim of their game. Play for the late stage. I'm not going to say ultra passive, but just try to be as intelligent as possible. You've had 8 games so far. You've had plenty of days to look back on VODs, study the other team's rotations, be aware of what might be going on around you. You really have to take that into account. So I'm not exactly sure who the IGL is for Nox, but it's going to be so imperative that they use as much of their knowledge as they can when it comes to IGLing.
This actually makes me think of a conversation. I think we had like this yesterday or maybe 2 days ago when we were talking after broadcast. And I was saying, I wonder how many of these teams in PMCO, for the European scene specifically, do VOD review. Like, I know it's common knowledge that you should be doing it, and especially like in PMWL East, every single team does it when we were casting that event. But in European stage, you're like, this is the start of potentially your professional career. But I'm actually intrigued to know how many teams actually would do that. Like,
true. I think weren't you saying to me that Will had said to you he was doing VOD review from time to time, which I think is important. I know that for a few days, I know that Cakes of Sirens hadn't played in scrims because they wanted to watch the scrims to try to, and that's a form of VOD review. It's not the same, but it is a form of VOD review, and it's really important. We do the same when it comes to our casting, right? We'll look back on the VOD reviews of our casting because it's one of the best ways just to look back, watch, and see how you could play better, how the other teams are playing. How you can just improve. We all know that, and it's an old saying, at least for me, knowledge is power. And when you have the knowledge, you're able to help dictate your own result and, of course, dictate the other team's results.
You said VOD review for casting is also very important. Like, I rewatched the time where like I roasted you and like played it in loop every time. It's like 10 times in a row.
You probably did that at nighttime.
I fell asleep too. I was like, that failed night, dude.
Yeah,
dude.
In your special time, didn't you? Kleenex
Oh my
bed,
god,
What?
Okay. We don't talk about my special time on broadcast. Thank you very much, Imperium. Universe,
we're saying that TwitchCon last year. What? Anyway.
God damn it. Damn, you went there. Okay, Imperium. Okay, we went there. Well, you know what? Apparently, Scrim Farm, they're going to the compound of Nox. That's where they're heading to. Initial grenade onto Jody, coming from up above. That's going to be Shake finding the nod down. Orsan is going to be traded off. One-on-one trade-off on both sides. Nox, they need this fight. Scrim Farm, they're already so comfortable in the standings. Nox can't afford to get knocked. As Orsan's going to be completely confirmed out of this lobby. Sparta, Shako left alone, remaining in the building. As Jody got knocked away, Abstract taking his time. Pekko and Jaje want to take your time as the rest comes on through. Shako trying to go for the unexpected play. Jumping down from the rooftop. Big lack of synergy on their side. And now it's only Sparta of Nox remaining in a 1v4 scenario. Jaje, calm down a little bit. Wait to take the 2v4 before jumping down solo.
I don't get why Sparta, Smoker moved outside. I don't get why Shako moved outside.
Yeah.
And now if Sparta can get the revive on the Smoker, that might help. But I feel like his back is against the wall. Too much time has been taken, and now he's on his own.
He's on his own, and I think that is not way well. Oh my god, gets absolutely destroyed by Scrim Farm. You know what, Scrim Farm, they were already so good in the overall standings, and they just wanted. They might be even aiming for that #1 position. You know what? They might be trying their best to take that spot away.
Well, of course, bragging rights. You talk about that Twitter bio. And they can say dedicated to Maxman as well at the end.
Yeah. If you got like a PMCO champion in your Twitter bio, boom, 20% muscle increase and 20% extra position in your shots. That is proven. That is confirmed by Maxman. So that means it's official. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. You know what's also official? Great position by Magic as they look to try and gain control of their overall standings. Currently looking quite low down. 29th. With 39 points in 8 games. Not the best of averages, only 11 kills out of those 39 points. But they are pretty close to Gaijin, only 8 points behind them. And of course, with Nox's bad result, that's going to at least kind of not create that cushion, but it's going to breathe a small sigh of relief. They're knowing that there's another team behind them that can't go ahead of them.
Yeah, Magic, it's maybe time to pull a rabbit out of your hat and get some good results today. As you do like the really fact that they're sending 2 players of Scrim Farm over the other side of the river. Actually 3. Make it 3, not only 1. Ooh, that's going to be Abstract actually taking the fight solo versus GSG Europe. I think the GSG, they don't really have too much information on this combat. Like, is it a full team? Is it just 1 player? We don't know, and we're not quite ready to discover that. We're just going to take it slow as Peck on the other side. I love how Scrim Farm are positioned on this position. You got players down south of the river, players up north. The rotation, you can easily make up for it, and Phase 2 did go a little bit higher up north, and they're instantly rotating. Scrim Farm, extremely clean.
Yeah, but I also don't get why GSG are rotating so late in towards the blue zone of Phase 2 closing. And 1, you don't know where Phase 3 is going to go. 2, you're quite central on that rotation, which means there's a higher chance teams are going to be around you.
Is this the Uber? I thought there was going to be the Uber trying to pick up Abstract, but it seems like they want to put the finishing blows because they can go YOLO. They can go so deep in these fights because they're qualified. They're like, you know what? Want to put the hurt, and we know it's GSG. We popped off. We want to try and overtake this team because they're also contending for the #1 spot to take it away from Godsent. know what? If you want to put her on a team to take that #1 spot, GSG might just be the one you want to eliminate early on. And they're going to be taking a shot. And Delito is in a smoke, able to remain alive for quite some time. The Scrim Farm, the most aggressive we see them yet. And I'm enjoying every single second of it.
Really am. They want to be playing. They're trying to play quite intelligently as well as aggressive. The only thing that might stop them in their tracks is Angelito is taking a lot of damage, as he does get indeed knocked. I was going to say Magic with a potential third party, but the way Scrim Farm are playing, they're just not giving any chance for Magic to respond.
Levy, don't. Like, if you take shots, Scrim Farm, they pushed you, like, so aggressively without a care in the world. If they know you're there, they're going to push you once again. You might want to just run away from this one. Scrim Farm, they're on a hunt, and you know what? They're going to take every single kill they might just be able to get.
Max, Scrim Farm just got a knock on the... They don't care. Anybody they see in front of them, they're going for it.
If it moves, it can be killed.
Yeah. Like, Jesus Christ, remind me not to meet Scrim Farm in person. I won't be able to move an inch. Like, they'll take me out. Just a really good play. Of course, phase 3 did go quite central to where Scrim Farm are, so they will have to think about possibly repositioning back over to where they took out Nox, because it will give them a much safer area to fight around. But I don't think they're going for it. I think they know that it could be a bit too risky. So they're using those smokes to create a bit more space to possibly go across the bridge and engage onto Magic. I wouldn't put it past them.
I mean, I'm happy for Scrim Farm that friendly fire is not a thing. If it was, they'll be killing each other at this rate. So, you know what? I think it's a good thing that feature is not in play. Scrim Farm, they're just like, okay, that position, we're going to give it off. It's not great to hold onto the river. You could get shot from really unintentional positions. Time to Shine did overtake their position they were holding on to earlier. And Time to Shine, they got a really good history on this area. They picked up a second position versus GSG Europe, if I'm not mistaken, Imperium. You know what? They feel pretty comfortable, but seem like Scrim Farm, they're comfortable breaching and playing so damn aggressive. This is already their third fight in a row in this early stage, and we're just at the start of phase 3 closing up. I mean, Scrim Farm, they're just going so aggressive. They take the initial nade onto Killer. Oh, no, actually, that's Killer knocking himself down. You know what? I take that one back. Romanian Squad, that is not what you want to do. And that's going to be Joni. Wait, I mean, they're like, you know what? We're big boys. You don't have to take our players out. We can do that on our own. We can do it ourselves.
And I guarantee Scrim Farm looking at that going,
they're like, what?
Like, should we be taking each other out? Is this the team that takes each other out first wins? I'm a little bit confused, but now Scrim Farm, it will give them a bit more control as Abstract along with Jaja going to be pushing alongside Peko. I just love the movement coming out from Scrim Farm, the ability to be aggressive as the rest of the team could be joining up to go for the fight onto Roski.
I think the Romanian Squad watched maybe too much anime and they're committing Subiku themselves. Just like a little bit too much anime culture as Jody comes on over to Abstract. They're like, okay, well, they just potentially lost a player, so we're just going to go for the extra fight. Only going to be playing on the rooftop. Hopa's going to be in his own building, making it a little bit hard to really try and flush them out really quickly.
Oh, no.
What is it? Was their own teammates noded as allies? What's going on? Stop nading your allies, guys. I talked about friendly fire. I didn't say you had to use it. Scrim Farm going to go for the res onto Jody. I mean, this is one hell of a weird compound breach, but I'm really enjoying it. Jody's going to be dropping out with Hopa 7. They're going to try and attack from the window side, taking down onto Jaja. Down to 2 players, Peko and Abstract, turn into now a 2v2. They finally extra knockdown to Joni, and that's going to be the end of Romanian Squad eliminated in 15th. Scrim Farm, that was one hell of a fight, but they still remain as a 4-man team. 9 kills already. How?
I happen to say, maybe they think it's the first team to take each other out. Wins. What happens? A minute later, they take one of themselves out with the grenade. Nicely done.
They wanted to make it even. So like, okay, you know what? We'll give it to you. You nade yourself, we'll nade ourselves.
Oh, brilliant. However, what a circle shift down south. You still have your river in play. Magic are on the north side of the circle. In my eyes, they have to stay there because they could punish the likes of the Noisy Boys, Carabac Horses, Clay, GLA, and Gaijin coming in. For Romanian Men and Omega Dragons, I like the passiveness of those two teams because of where they are in the overall standings and hanging around runes, even though I'm not a big fan of that area, for being a passive team kind of makes sense.
Time to shine. They sent 2 players forward there, trying to get a little bit of foothold. They got information on Scrim Farm high ground as BeMyLOOT coming from behind with TSC Legends. TSC Legends and BeMyLOOT, 2 teams that need to try and potentially get some really good results in today because really unsure as if they might make it through, especially TSC Legends. They cannot afford to go down early. BeMyLOOT, they're still over the 24th slot, so you know what? As long as they can stay consistent, this should be okay. But if they take a few bad games in a row, he's going to go bad. But that grenade from up above, Albie! One nade triple kill, and that's going to be the end of BeMyLOOT going down in 14th. What is this game? What is happening?
It's me and Mario. I don't know what to say. It's yeah, a couple of members of the universe getting knocked up. Time to shine. Going in for the kill. You're going to see Scrim Farm joining in for a bit of a third party.
Oh, shots from the backside. Swave is going to get an impact as Universe. They drop dead on the ground. Eliminated 13th position. Time to shine getting contested by Scrim Farm as Jar Jar being a little bit maybe confident. Maybe too confident, I might say. TSC Legends taking shot from a pretty big distance. Maybe even get a few shots underneath the car there. But TSC, here it is. Autobots roll out. Antho and Albi will be going first as they keep some nice pressure on the back end, which I think is a pretty nice approach from TSC.
Yeah, of course, indeed. We do see Omega Dragons and YAKUZA taking each other out in the kill feed. Gaijin and Carback Horses. All 4 of these teams are fighting for the top 24 positions. TSC holding on, sending 2 players forward. I do like that indeed. The Scrim Farm, they just don't stopping right now in this game 1. Up to, I believe, 9 to 10 kills, double digits already. The 80-minute mark.
I haven't been able to see which team took the compound down south of the river. It was GSG that had it for some time after it was held by Scrim Farm. A lot of teams have been fighting for that location, and the circle did shift in that area, so the team that has that control on that area could definitely be the one to take this first chicken dinner of today. At Scrim Farm, they did hit the double-digit kill count as Nayab of Time to Shine. Unfortunately, split away from the rest of his team as the blue is slowly moving on forward, forcing these teams in a fight they potentially can't even move away from. TSG, they want a third-party disengagement. Once the shots come on through, they're going to third-party. Apparently, they're not even going to wait for the shots to come on through. Antho is going to be bloodthirsty, taking the kill down as Jaja fights back versus TSC Legends. Antho is going to be dropped out instantly as Ditati will be joining the party later, but he's sure will be getting involved.
Time to Shine came into third party, and then they got fourth partied by Clay GLA in the back line. Magic also on the Carback Horses in the feed. The revive comes on through. TSC keeping their hopes and dreams alive in the overall standing still inside this game, but there's 12 teams up, 34 players, so lots of points available.
Yeah, again, the car unjustly sway. Oh, the Uber does not work out. No, he jumped out too early. So because he jumped out early, Naya got actually friendly fired by that car. That's a big L in the chat. F in the chat and an L. We put both because that was extra, not epic. Because now Swave.
F and L.
Yeah, F and L. You put everything, guys. But now they slowly got the res back up. They're going to remain as a 2-man team over there. The circle shifting back up north, and the compound down south, they're still yet to be taken. I mean, the Noisy Boys, they've been scouting from Everest. If you know it's free, take it right now. You might just get the first chicken dinner today.
But it is closer to 4 Romanian men. Look how they are. They are in the sniper tower, which is risky having all their squad in that one little tiny building. GSG are still inside this game. You have the members of Omega Dragons. I believe they took out YAKUZA in the end. And the swing about round by the Noisy Boys to go by the bridge, that's a bit of an interesting rotation.
Look at the Noisy Boys actually not going for the compound. Seem like they maybe didn't get the information, or there's just not the intention to go for like a passive approach, as we're going to be seeing one explosion coming on through. Antho takes the kills, and you know what? TSC Legends, their team that desperately need those kill points. So you know what? That is great W for them. But unfortunately, they're down to only 2 players. That is Antho and Boca.
They've got 7 kills. That's 7 extra points in the bag when you consider that they were only on 12 up to this point. They want to be more aggressive. They want to take control, and they're looking to take out Scrim Farm as Pecco's going to get knocked down. But in from behind, Baka, behind the smoke, could be finding last player, Scrim Farm. And indeed, the job is done.
Boca in Spanish, if I'm not mistaken, it means mouth. And you know what? This guy has gone hungry mouth. He wants to eat everyone in his lobby. 9 kills for TSC Legends. And you know what? That is exactly the kind of performances we expect from them to try and qualify for the semi-finals. You know what? Good achievement from TSC Legends. Now keep the ball rolling. Keep these performances growing. And he might just make it to the next PMCO stage.
I love the fact that he did a tiny bit of scouting towards that shack, saw that there's a team there, and instead of going for the shots, he threw out a smoke so he can try and get in towards the northern side of the circle, knowing that phase 5 blue zone is quite harsh.
Circle, definitely not quite a lot of fun for the team to focus on the eastern edge. Gauging, losing 1 player, unfortunately, a few teams potentially having to cross into the water. The riverbank is not really great to play around, but the Noisy Boys, they got such a good hold down on that western river. They got such a good position to play around. And unfortunately, Clay GLA, not great position to play around because then a shack literally Gauging was so close. Grenades are flying on by. 1 grenade in the window, and as boom, Clay GLA going out in an explosion that everyone will remember in this lobby.
Mini red zone coming down upon GLA by Gaijin. Although Gaijin do have to be careful because they are a couple of players in the river line trying to get across the way.
Trying to dodge bullets, trying to be Matrix style, but you know what? Those performances are pretty hard to pull off. Ked of the Noisy Boys still over there in the distance with the rest of his team. He's trying to take a little bit more of a central foothold, which I think is good proactive gameplay from this team. But gauging, they saw the circle moving away. They're like, you know what? We're going to go back over to the other side of the water, but the water is still actually in play. And Ked now, by lucky turn of events, is central circle. Good foothold. The rest of Noisy Boys can just easily follow suit and join up on his position.
Also, the Noisy Boys, because they rotated in that area, very intelligent. They are not being spotted by the teams down south, right? For many men, unless they get ultra high ground, it's very unlikely they're going to see the Noisy Boys. So Noisy Boys can focus on the teams on the east, like Gaijin, like Omega Dragons.
Jay's going to find Sensei Scott. Unfortunately, thing is, they're in a shack like that, making it really predictable on how they're coming out. If they do not have any smokes, which I think that he's quite a bunch earlier, was their last fight was gauging. They do not have any more, then they're going to be easily to scout. They're all going to the left or the right of the shack, not above, because I don't think that's physically possible. So, of course, that should be gauging, picking up a few easy kills, and Clay GLA might just go out extremely soon. But you know what? Clay GLA, in a spot where I'm going to say it right now, they're qualified. So, you know what? They can afford to go for a little bit more YOLO moves.
Let's wait and see. I can't help but agreeing with you as Gaijin going to get one drop. Omega Dragons use a smoke wall and the vehicle to push on in. Are they going too far though, Max?
I mean, you got to eventually try and take this game in your own hands. Gonna try and just roll on through. He's extremely low. One bullet is gonna be enough. And you know what? Ked is like, that's a tasty kill right there. Picks it up. Omega Dragon taken out of the lobby entirely. And now the Noisy Boys, they are pushing on forward. Four-man team looking so goddamn healthy. As Sensei's got a fish in the water. It's fishing simulator time for Sensei's God. But you know what? He's gonna put himself into the car so he can actually pull off the res. And he might just be able to survive for a long period of time by doing so.
Can't believe it. We're down to the last 5 teams. Clay GLA in the water. I think is getting shot up by the members of Gaijin. Cena, he's not going to be able to pick his head up too much. He's going to have to take that bit of water damage. However, Gaijin could get punished upon by the Noisy Boys and stop that kill coming through in the Clay GLA.
They got a half-decent smoke road on their side. They've been not really popping off too heavily in the kill feed in the early to mid-game stage. You know what? That means they've still got that much utility remaining that they can desperately use to get closer and personal to the Noisy Boys. Sensei going to be picking his head, and that's going to be Ked picking it up once again. 5 kills for the Noisy Boys, and taking so much control in this late game is insanely surprising to me. But down south, they've got 2 teams taking a fight for the compound, and it's going to be ending very soon. It's going to be 4 Romanian men, and actually, the last player of GS Europe, there's actually Levy, if I'm not mistaken, in Pyramid, is still there and kicking strong.
Yeah, kicking strong indeed. And look, I said it before, I've said it already, but the rotation for the Noisy Boys was so different, but they knew where they wanted to go. That wasn't the kind of rotation where they weren't certain. They knew exactly how they wanted to play towards the end of this game.
Gauging, really trying to play around those rocks and trees, but unfortunately, that tree is a little bit too thin. Unfortunately for you, Adabo, as he's going to be going down. Now Jay is going to be the last hope of glory for his team. Nate's going to be flying on by. As said, mini red zone like earlier. Does connect onto Jade down to mid HP. Still got 35 seconds to play around. You know what? If he's got no more smokes, I think this might just be the end of Jay, unfortunately.
It's not going to be too easy. And like I said, because Noisy Boys don't have to look in the direction of the south side of the circle, they can focus solely on the east. And that's exactly what they've been doing. Of course, they still need to move in. You have the road in the middle of the play, so it can go anybody's way once you get rid of the last player of Gaijin. 4 Romanian men have multiple players up.
That grenade looks pretty good. Oh, he hides in time behind that rock. That was such a close move, Matrix style. The Noisy Boys now picking up 7 kills for themselves. They want to make it double digits. But down south, Levy from just Europe has yet to be found out. But Ked, here it is. You said it right. They can easily push because they don't have to care what's happening down south. They got that ridge behind that road behind. They can easily hide behind. So really, the teams down south is not an issue for them. So they can take control. They can get these wide angles. But Jay can't respond in any way, shape, or form. And he shall go down to the play zone. That's going to be gauging out in now 4th position. As just Europe go out in 3rd position. Levy was scouted away by 4 Romanian men. They will be taking that kill for themselves.
4v3 across the road, split in the middle. There's a nice juicy drop as well.
That's good.
That could help the Noisy Boys. 4 Romanian men have a couple of vehicles. The dodgy camper in the way, helping them. I feel like 4 Romanian men, though, they're a little bit too close together. A couple of grenades, that's going to be the end of them.
You want to try and take some control right now. You want to send some players on the side. Playing behind this area, especially, you're making yourself very vulnerable to grenades because they know where you're going to be hiding.
Yeah.
So you got to keep that in mind. Send one player to the left, one center, and one to the right. And like that, you have so many angles that if the Noisy Boys try and push, even with the smoke road, if they still got some smokes, which I would heavily doubt, it might make things a little bit more tricky on their end. As a little bit of utility. Actually, they still have some utility. Very surprising. It seems like this utility is more some kind of aggressive smokes, denying visibility away, which I'm really enjoying. But Elusive, unfortunately, apparently not denying enough visibility, as Dexter on a nice little off angle will make things even Stevens 3v3 in this fight between 4 Romanian men and the Noisy Boys. I
got what Elusive was trying to do, but just got to make sure. Didn't realize that Dexter is on the off angle to the right, and that really has paid off. I'm a little bit surprised that the Noisy Boys were going so aggressive in that area, because they do have that little bit of a dip in the road where they can peek and shoot. Whereas 4 Romanian men are a lot flatter. There is that tiny slow, tiny slightly low elevated period, which I think is just about protecting 4 Romanian men.
Not gonna lie, I'm gonna critique a little bit the usage of the smokes here. Or you want to go for smoke road, or you want to deny visibility. And here, they're a little bit just randomly thrown over. Like, they're not having a direct purpose. They're not denying instantly, like, direct visibility. Like, you're putting them, like, some smokes are, like, behind each other. Like, you don't want to really do that. You want to deny as much visibility as possible. They're definitely not the best. And Bam is slowly going to take a little bit more control to the left side, which I personally really enjoy. And I think Bam should just full send it, like, really go far on that position. Try and take as much control as possible. Because now Dexter, he's got scattered away. Nice break on Ked. He's going to find that knock. They got to go instantly for the flush. You do not know when you might just go down. You might not even take the chicken dinner. Every single kill may count. As Dennis with his grenade or smoke. That's going to be a grenade indeed. Chucked towards Savage X. It will explode a little bit prematurely, but Savage X is going to be finding the headshot to Bam, and now he's all in the hands of Dennis in a 1v3 scenario. Goes for the spray. They closed up, and the Noisy Boy kicks off the day. Final day of the group stage was a hefty chicken dinner. What a game from these guys.
It wasn't a scrim farm level of aggressive game for Noisy Boys, but it was intelligent, it was dynamic, it was rotationally sound, and it was accurate. Of course, this was the very first game that we've seen Ked play for the Noisy Boys in the PMCO group stage, and he started off strong with 2 kills. Before Romanian men coming in from the south, they had the high ground overlooking, and instead of going for a rotation like the Noisy Boys, they went into that compound. That was safe in itself, and it paid off with 2nd place. That's going to help them in their fight for the survival in the top 24 position, because they were coming into this in 22nd on 69 points with a bunch of points, which they got a total of 19. I think that's pretty much their position secured.
Yeah, and at the 5 at the top of the standings, right, the Noisy Boys and Just Europe before this, they had exactly the same amount of kill points and total points as a whole. True. And now Just Europe kind of losing that advantage lead onto the Noisy Boys, as the Noisy Boys now chicken dinner plus all of those kills going in their back pocket. They are getting more and more comfortable as time goes by. I believe even potentially taking 2nd position in the standings over Atlantes Cycle, so we'll have to check that out.
Max. Okay. Max. TSC Legends, okay. 14 points with 9 kills. Gaijin, 13 points with 5 kills. Omega Dragons, 10 points with 4 kills. Those 3 teams are fighting for survival in the top 24. The biggest loser of that game, unfortunately, was Universe. They only got 3 points, so that's going to make it even harder for them coming into the final 3 games.
It's going to be so damn intense. Imperium, you know what I recommend? We updated currently the overall standings. Okay. I think it's going to be very intriguing to check them out. So let me go just click on those. Boom, update them. Do we start at the top or at the bottom? I think just for the suspense, I think it's good we start at the top to see. And we'll go down to the lowest section of the standings right after. So here we go. These are the tippity top 16 teams in the standings so far for the group stage. Godsent still on the top of the mountain, but the Noisy Boys, they're slowly but surely catching up. You don't want to close your eyes, or they might just make and take over your position. And Just Europe remains still in 4th position, but slowly getting a few extra points in their back pocket.
Yeah, they only need 2 more points to overtake Atlantes Cycle. The Noisy Boys, they do have an extra chicken dinner of Godsent, so in theory they should be ahead of them in the overall standings. They do have less placement points considering they have more chicken dinners, so that does show when you think about possible semi-finals and finals. Maybe a tiny lack of consistency from the Noisy Boys, but we'll have to wait and see what they produce in the last 3 games of the day. Happy to see Scrim Farm moving up to 6th with 123 points, 58 kill points to 65 placement points. It's one of the most even we have in the overall standings.
And now Scrimfound like definitely absolutely shredding that lobby this time around. I was not expecting him to play like this. Like, that was the surprise of the day. But Imperium, I'm going to be surprising everyone in the chat slowly as we do update the overall standings. And here we go. Bottom 16. Where are the teams so far? Who is in the red zone and who potentially made their way out? One team that I'm seeing slowly going down the very steep hill, that is Laconostra Power. They were in 20th and now they're in 22nd. I'm being a little bit scared for Laconostra Power. 2 more spots lost and then you're out, my friend. Then you're out.
As I said, it was very lucky that BeMyLOOT and Universe both had very bad results. Gaijin, they do still need more, but after a solid game along with Omega Dragons, that has helped them indeed. And TSC, like, they were coming in from one of the very bottom spots, right? So they still have a huge mountain to climb. They need to follow that game on with a successful game 2, game 3, game 4. Like, what, 77 points between, you know, 77 points on for Laconostra in 22nd and 60 points for Gaijin in 25th. That's only 17 points in 3 games. Gaijin should be able to hit that.
I think they'll be able to do so for sure. But like, my big focus right now on Omega Dragons, BeMyLOOT, Gaijin, Romanian Squad, even like Universe down there. The thing is, right,
Yeah.
I hope that we're not going to see them thinking like, okay, we're extremely close. We're going to play passive to secure positioning points. But you got to keep in mind that teams around you, they get a few more extra kills on you. They put off basically a scrim farm, what we saw in this first game. And that is how you use your lead. So it's not because you're so close, you got to play passive. You got to play intelligent. Passiveness will not lead you anywhere in this state. You got to play the most calculated as possible. And especially, you must connect those kills. If you just play based on position points, it just might not be enough at the end of the day.
Like, you know, Romanian Squad and Universe, they both dropped a place each in the overall standings. And you know, for them, that shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening for them. But it has after this game 1. They need to dust themselves off, pick themselves back up for game 2 in Sanhok. Romanian Squad, when we look at Sanhok, we'll talk more, of course, about it as we get into that second game. They've shown that they haven't maybe been able to deal with some of the circle shifts as strongly as some of the other teams. But we also know that Sanhok is just the kind of game where anything can happen, anybody can win.
Yeah, I think the Sanhok is definitely the map that these teams are not going to be too happy playing with, because it's just, you can't really, like you said, you want to play calculated. Well, sometimes playing calculated in Sanhok is just not quite enough to pull through. So hopefully some teams will be able to play maybe a bit more snaky, a little bit more sneaky. But at the end, it's still a map that is not really fun to play when you are under pressure like that. With that said, you know, that was game 1 taken by the Noisy Boys. Felt good to have Ked back on the battlegrounds. They felt really good. And he brought a lot to his team. And like, even without Ked, right, they were taking so many good games a few days ago, like the Noisy Boys day, and now it's Ked back on the team, ready to just absolutely destroy the squads around him. Like, I think it's definitely good to see him back in action and with such a great first performance. But with that said, as I said, quick break. We'll be back shortly for our second game. We're going to the jungle. It's going to be Sanhok. We'll be back in just a few short minutes.
Roy's trying to counter it. Percocet gets the knock.
Oh, another one.
Quick counter.
The trade. Sam with the drop shot from behind. Unsuccessful on that. J7 coming in for the support.
Well, you know the intro I said we're gonna get some action today. I mean, I think that first game definitely delivered in so many ways in Imperium, and Razor jumped out. Next game, and as your background entails, is going to be on Sanhok, and if Erangel was hectic, I can't even fathom how hectic this next game is going to be.
I'm just looking for the snakes of Sanhok, because that's where we're going, baby. Indeed, it's going to be pretty crazy in this day 2. One thing that you mentioned to me, though, during the break, because it's not that I didn't want to talk about them, but I felt like there was a couple more important narratives to mention. But Scrim Farm in that game 1 were absolutely popping. I think it was you said PEMCO got
11 kills. Thank you very much for the Twitch chat, by the way. Yeah,
11 kills on his own. Hoggers.
That's montage worthy. Like you do montage with that. If I don't see a PEMCO 11 kills PMCO European group stage montage on YouTube in the next 24 hours, I'm going to be severely disappointed. But with that said, one thing I'm not disappointed about is the fact that we're getting in game, ladies and gentlemen. Sanhok is going to be underway. It's, you know, it's nice, it's summer, it's hot outside, so why not go for a little vacation over the island of Sanhok, go over to Paradise Resort, have a good time, and that's exactly what one team that needs a good result is going to do. That is Karabakh Horses. But not the noisy boys. They're in the lobby, Imperium. For the first time in this PMCO, we'll see. Will they fight in Paradise, or will they play respectful like we saw in the last few days of Pro U scrims?
Please don't, because Karabakh Horses, you're in 31st on 30 points. The qualification is still in your hands, and we are seeing them drop safe to the Northwest Island.
I like that. Thank you.
I do too. I do too.
The noisy boys are like, yeah, we're looking for blood. We want kills. We qualified already. We don't care. They're just going to go for it. I don't know what my voice did there. That was really weird. But I think that definitely playing the passive approach is good. But, I mean, we talked about Doc's finished yesterday. Will it happen now? Ooh.
It could still shift towards the central area of the mainland. The one thing is that this kind of circle, the teams overall will very much prefer, because they know for a fact that it's not going to be the Northwest Island. And I can bet my bottom dollar that it's not going to be the Northwest Island. I'm not betting my bottom dollar that it's not going to be Southwest Island, because I've learned from my mistake, Max. But yeah, that more mainland central circle will make it a lot clearer for the teams and how they want to rotate it.
You imagine like you have a bug now and it goes over to the Northwestern Island just to make like, no, we want to mess with Imperium.
If that would happen, I would actually just click out and I'd be like, nah, I'm done, mate. I'm done. I'm out of here. Like,
yeah. But one team just on the drops, we can't see any more on screen, but like one drop that I really liked, it was Romanian Squad going over to Same, which is the main drop and location of Red Reserve. Red Reserve are not playing today. And they got some really good results yesterday too. They got like 3 top 5s and a 6th position on their final game. So Red Reserve overall doing really good, but they're not in this lobby. So Same is free, and Romanian Squad is a team. They need to pull some good results in today, right, Imperium? So the fact is they're like, okay, we did our research. 1 compound is free. It's out of any kind of early game harm. We're going to go for Same. I personally think that's a really good decision making coming out from Romanian Squad. Whoever is IGLing is doing a good job. So now let's see if they can translate that into a good second game.
It's a great sign that they've done their rough research and they've done some relevant planning coming into today's games. Yeah, they didn't have the absolute best of starts. Romanian Squad in the first game of the day, only scoring 1 point. So they know that for this game too, it's even more important that they get as many points as they can.
TSC Legends, talking about getting points, like they got so many. How many points exactly did they get in total plus positioning? I know you're the math guy. I can't count until like over 5. That's too much for me. So
they got 14 points.
Got 14 points. Thank you very much, Imperium. Like that, I don't have to look like a fool trying to do some math and mentally, because I would just completely fail to do so. But like still, yeah, 14 points on their first game. They're hitting the average, the minimum threshold. It's still hard. You're not there just yet, but it's a very good first impression for me at least.
So just to give a bit of perspective, coming into this game, their average points per game was 4.25, and they've scored 14 points in this first game alone.
They tripled it. A little bit more, actually, than tripled it. Yeah. So, hey, I'll call that a very big Pog moment right there.
Very big part. It's just like, again, it's by no means are they safe. They're not safe at all. They do still need to climb up the standings. But when you talk about setting yourself up, giving yourself the confidence, they have definitely started that in today's games.
Yeah, they're in 28th currently. So you know what? They have definitely increased their points pretty nicely. Now we'll have to see how they can pursue this one. Now, Scrim Farm, the Jack the Reaper of the lobby, I might just say right now, because they were just shredding everyone and shredding so many players in the lobby. In fact, they decided to nade themselves eventually. So you know what? I like the dedication. You know what? They go with something and they follow suit until the very end, until killing their allies. You know what? I like the mentality into this one. You know what? It's like me playing with Imperium. Always Miss Ali. You know what? If I play with both of them, I like to nade them. That's how you do it.
That I can confirm. 12 out of 10 confirm. Also, Cakes from the Sirens in the PMCO chat was like, that game was full of let's nade your own teammates. It's true. And it was great fun for us. It created much banter, much fun, much laughter. But will it be laughter for Time to Shine as they're looking down the sights of Gaijin?
The early shots might be exchanged. To see Clay GLA, they're going to be moving on by. They're like, okay, well, there might be some teams around this. So we're just going to play this one a little bit more passive as a whole. I'm thinking back at the grenade moves, like biggest anime betrayal of 2020. I don't know why, you just put like that tag on it, and I think it fits perfectly. Of Meow, unfortunately, if you don't do too much noise, try and get prone, leave out of the door like a normal cat would do, because otherwise Time to Shine just might find you, and they are thirsty for blood because they're fighting for potentially the tippity top of the mountain.
You must be one with the cat. You must,
what?
Of course, be acting like a cat in this moment. You must be very, very silent in the grassy areas.
Is this a Discovery Channel now? Like, what's happening? This is a cat in his natural habitat. It's an ocelot.
in the jungle surrounding the Sanhok, you do see the primal animals of the jungle wait for their time to strike, seeking and stalking their prey as they hear and sniff them close by, the sound of the gunshots firing up.
Now, I would have really believed all of that until you said, like, gunshots. I think that's not a natural occurrence in the jungle, Imperium. I think that's not very... Fair. I don't think that's how... or like nature's supposed to be.
Not to make things real, but
I don't think AKM's growing trees, Imperium.
Animal poachers, unfortunately, but not to make things too real, but that is a real thing indeed. Anyway, back to this game. We digress. Time to Shine on towards a high ground overlooking Gaijin, Clay GLA. It's round the quarry area for phase one. It's a very great place to hold on to. I worry maybe Daddy's a bit too separated, but I think he's being the true scout on top of that sniper tower, might be able to get a couple of off-angle shots and create more space for the rest of his team.
He's got a good lookout position for sure. I really enjoy it. As YAKUZA PX and Magic apparently going to be clashing a little bit. Those are two teams that need to get some half-decent results right now because they are not looking overall really comfortable in the standings. So hopefully they can get some good fights. As Magic over here, a little bit too spread. Husat is going to be in a really hard position to get rest up, and I think he's going to get flushed out very soon. Tarek on the backside could potentially stop YAKUZA PX from pushing any further, but unfortunately, they just caught out really napping right here, I would say, and they're going to have the information on the smoke and for the spray. Those splits very close to Cable, but unfortunately, the second knock in a row will not be found. And the thing is, when you get knocked many times in a row, you bleed out even faster, making the res even harder to pull off. Now, really, even just jumping in the water might be a viable option for Magic, as time is. He was going to go for the nade. He's like, oh, spotted my enemy. I'm going to go for the spray. Atigos going to be put desperately low, and now down to the water, down to the cliffside he goes. He tries to make it out alive, but Cable in the water, yeah, that might just be your better option. But you know what? This is a time where breathing is illegal. If you breathe, you're going to get spotted, and you might just go down.
But the thing is, do they know Tarek's there? They do indeed, because a couple of shots are being fired by times. That's nice vision and awareness by YAKUZA. One thing that I noticed, it wasn't much, but when they saw one of the members of Magic in the water, or towards the rock side, they both took shots at the same time. That was just great synergy by YAKUZA.
If you concentrate your fire, you know what? There's no way the enemy's going to be able to replicate and fight back. Yeah, they are going for it. I think it's definitely they're looking for kills, which are YAKUZA. They're going, I said it right. or you can go for passive approach, aim for positioning points, or you can go for the kill points. And YAKUZA PX, even though it's a position where if a team was on your right on the mountaintop, you'll get absolutely obliterated. But you know what? It's now or never. We're going to go for it. Carpe diem, as they might just say. So you're trying to make the most out of this time they still have remaining on the battlegrounds. But now YAKUZA pushing very heavily onto Tarek. And Tarek may be able to make it work out. He's going to get the kill confirmed. Nicely done. Able to kind of hurt and reduce the firepower as YAKUZA as a whole. And now they're pushing on forward as a 3-man team. We've seen actually Time to Shine and Scrim Farm also popping into the kill feed. So that's another fight to keep our eyes and ears open for.
And the thing is, for YAKUZA, it's not just that they're trying to get the kills. By taking out Magic, and they are going to come in and get the job done, they're taking out a team that is trying to vie for their position. They're taking out a team, Magic, which are currently 29th on 45 points. Yes, 45 points compared to YAKUZA 77, but at the end of the day, with 3 games to go, that still would have been possible. But by them taking out the majority, if not all, the Magic, that is the extra security for YAKUZA to secure their semi-finals spot.
Yeah, because YAKUZA are currently in 21st position with, I believe, it's 77 points, which is an equal standing with Lack of power. So they were able to overtake them because they got 1 extra kill point compared to them. And that's the point where it could actually go down to 1 kill, making a difference. We mentioned it already in Miramar. It could definitely have a really big long and influence on these overall rankings. Scream Farm's going to be taking quite a bit of hurt. 2 players knocked away. Be Jody and Abstract, but now Time to Shine coming around. GSG Europe, they're like, oh, we want to still also fight for that top of the mountain kind of position. We want to be number 1 over Godsent. And they are relentless. They go for the push and they eliminate Scrim Farm. They were too aggressive, and that's what you get. They're going to be taking vengeance on game number 2 on Sanhok.
Max, it wasn't just Time to Shine. It was a third party by GSG. Yeah. And now GSG are going to assume the position that Scrim Farm are in, and Time to Shine will now have less time to prepare, less time to in some way heal up, even though they're not too badly hurt, before they get the fight on towards GSE. Trading knocks, trading grenades, and that's Will on top of the rock, knocking down Andalito.
Really good rock play from him. You're going to have also Levy trying to go for a little bit of a sneaky play, and he was extremely sneaky last game. He's able to take actually, was it 3rd position with 0 kills for his team overall, so still really good stuff from him as a whole. He's a snake in the mind. So really enjoying how they can pull this one off. The res will easily come on through. The smoke is going to be alerting a little bit of where they will be pulling off that smoke, so they can maybe pre-nade a little bit and try and connect that damage. It seems like we're going to have a little bit of compound breach in our picture and picture segment. I don't really see the names too far because my eyes are maybe playing me a few tricks.
And Universe.
Is it, okay, yeah, Omega Dragons and Universe. My eyes are definitely playing me tricks. I might have to get glasses very soon, just like you, Imperium. We'll have to see. Gonna be Sensei Squad taking the L. Daddy initiating that fight on Time to Shine. Daddy's going to be actually replicated really heavily. Daddy trying to come back from that outpost position and really trying to increase the firepower and the aggressiveness of his team. I do like the fact that Daddy's trying to slowly get back up with the rest of his squad.
Will's position is so imperative. Raxman as well, knocking down the member of Universe. It's going to be a nice knockdown by Will.
Yeah, they're going to make things happen for them. Angelito initially going to be taken down. Daddy was rezzed up. Now the man advantage over for them. Unfortunately, it's a position where it's on a plateau. It's not the best mountaintop. So if you try and just wrap around and flank on the side, you can make yourself visible to another team, and they might just take on that opportunity to take that kill on you. I think that here, this is a fight that just Europe and Time to Shine really don't have too much to win from it. So if I would personally say, maybe just leave it or stay here and don't initiate a further fight.
The only thing they have in their slight favor is because of that very southeastern phase 1, more teams are going to be a little bit to the east of them. So there could be a possible chance that they're not going to be surrounded by too many other teams. We'll have to wait and see. Clay or Gile are going to be taking their own fight against Gaijin. Universe are going to be close by. It is actually Nox and Omega Dragons down by Camp Charlie, and the phase 3 shifts up north, very central around the quarry area.
I wouldn't say the high ground position east of boot camp would be such a good area to play around. You also got a compound that's a little bit up north of GSG Europe and Time to Shine. So I think the team that takes that position first could have a really good foothold in the circle. Where it might just get a little bit more hectic is Clegele, Gauging, Universe. They're all close to each other. They're on the edge of Quarry, which I do have to say, Imperium, I think everyone by now knows that because you said it time and time again. That is not a fun area to play around. But one area that's also not really fun is this 5 versus Broody and Oxan, where they're struggling to move away from it. And I think Oxan's going to be dropping down, giving a little bit more place and arrow to breathe for Broody to go for that engagement. Oxan coming on through. Was the easy. Going to pin Broody down to mid HP. Good for the nice shutdown. Going to be switching over to the barrel. Gets the knock. Can he make the 1v2 payoff versus now Narco? As the fight comes on through, Antifa Sebi going to be trying to join the party. Has got smoke on a high ground position from far back. I love what he's doing, but Orksan's getting knocked away by. Actually going to find himself a knock onto an extra player, pulling off the 1v2. Orksan is taking the clutch move versus Omega Dragons, and this might just be one of the fights that allows him to qualify if they get good results time and time again. The night. Oh my god, Orksan, what are you doing? Can he pull the 1v4 Imperium? Gonna go for the final spray, and he gets it. He clutches it. 1v4. I want to check in the kill feed. Was it a true 1v4? Was it? Was it? Yes, it was. Orksan 1v4 versus Omega Dragons. Takes the final kill on Antifa. I mean, Orksan, what the hell was that? Play like this all the time, my boy. Play like this every single day of the week.
It wasn't, even though Orksan got all the kills and he definitely put up a hell of a job for his side, it was the positioning of all the Nox players that made it possible. The reason why is because they had plenty of backline support that in any way, shape, or form, Omega Dragons popped their head up from the rock area, they were going to get fired up. So much space created for Orks. He got those Uzi shots in and got the squad wipe after a beautiful grenade on the Sebi, took out the backline player from Omega Dragons. Of course, that's going to hurt Omega Dragons. They were in 23rd. They had jumped up. They had a great game one. But if you can't follow suit game after game, you're making things harder.
I love how we've seen all these teams that really need to get these big point games taking the fight. They know that they have the backup against the wall, and if they do not get some good games and performances in now, it might just be too late. So better later than never. Try and get your good results in the next remaining 3 games. You've got 1 Sanhok, 1 Vikendi, 1 Erangel. Make the most out of it as you still can.
And here's the thing. Between your breaks, what I was saying to you, I don't think Nox can do it. I think they've messed themselves up. After the start of this game, we could see a different kind of result. We'll have to wait and see. As a YAKUZA in towards the high ground, they are surrounded by a couple of teams. It's not going to be too easy for them, but as they've come in from the east, they've really been able to react to these circle shifts quite nicely.
You didn't believe Nox. You got to believe Imperium. There you go. That was I don't know what that was referenced to. It was a reference to something, but I forgot where it came from. But with that said, Cycle going to be shifting back over to Gaijin and Clay GLA. But as I said, where it's not going to be all fancy and dandy, that's down south. You got Romanian Squad, Nox, GSG Europe. Now BeMyLOOT also slowly joining the party on the east of Quarry. And all around Quarry is definitely not a happy, chappy kind of area to play with. But TSC Legends, a team that has been able to force through a fight earlier versus Scrim Farms on the edge of the circle. Can they replicate that kind of team fight situation versus now 4 Romanian men as they get closer and closer every single second of this fight on Sanhok and take the 4 kills? Because TSC Legends, this game alone, if they lose that fight, might be the reason why they do not qualify. The TSC Legends, don't give up now. Keep on pushing, keep on preying on this fight. It's going to be shifting on over to Karak. Goal, what the hell? Goal touch? Oh, this is not Assassin's Creed. This is PUBG Mobile. You can't pull a ninja move like that. What?
Jumped over. It was like something from the Matrix. Beautifully done by Gold Touch. With a touch of gold, is able to apply the 24-carat knock onto Karabakh horses. Still Barracuda up along with Wozo, but they're going to have to prone down on the eastern edge of this circle. Play like snakes coming into the final 10 or so minutes of this game. Still 14 teams are up in this game, max 47 players. There's plenty of opportunity for them to get a strong result. They're just going to have to wait it out.
I still can't believe you got a touch. That was absolutely, like I said, like,
I know,
this
right?
is not Assassin's Creed. Get out of here. Like, no, this is PUBG Mobile Esports, dude. You can't pull a little sneaky on those players like that. That's illegal. Because now down below is going to be 4 Romanian men. Can I go for a little bit of control? 4 Romanian men, also a team that need to get in some good results, right? Just to make sure, even though they are currently in 17th position, they got 88 points. I think that it's maybe safe to assume they are going to qualify, but as it comes back to you just want to be comfortable in your mindset. 1 more extra game, and I'm going to say that's enough for them.
Exactly. You can never be too sure, and you just don't want to leave it down to the last game, right? You don't want to leave it down to the final moments, even though they are in control of their destiny, of their finishing position. As the Noisy Boys sitting pretty nicely on the northern east side of this circle for now. They only have YAKUZA behind them with a couple of teams up towards the north, but look at how much they're spotting things out.
TSC Legends, that's the fight. Here it is. This is a fight that has so much weight to it. and it might just impact the future of TSC Legends as a whole if it does not work in their favor. Albie got knocked away. The res will come on through, but they're going to be in the blue of phase 4. Going into phase 5, not a happy moment for them. Bam doing so much pressure. Ditati makes it over, going to trample off the res. Boka and Albie, they res up pretty nicely. Bam is not expecting it, but you know what? He fights back so well, makes it an even trade-off before going down himself. And TSC Legends, they drop to the floor, and this might be the reason why TSC Legends don't make it over to the semi-finals. That was one hell of an unfortunate fight. Before many men took such a good amount of control, they deserved the kills.
Of course, the main reason why they won that team fight was down to the flank of Bam coming in from the side as TSC Legends had to move out from those buildings. Even though he got knocked in return, he got the job done. He was a fallen hero for his side, but the fight is still not over. Like I said, 13 teams, 40 players up left in this game. Wazo from Carbide Horses is going to get dropped and finished by Uzi of Yakuza as GSG. They're going to through Quarry along with Rotsky.
In Quarry can be good if teams are not too close. They cannot really shoot back at you, and making it out of Quarry is a tricky situation. Reminds me a little bit of the mountaintop position. You got very small funnel areas where you can make it through, and if a team knows you're there, you're going to be very predictable on how you rotate away from it. The circle is right behind them, but another fight is currently unfolding. That's Time to Shine versus 4 Romanian men. Rana, Bam, both taken down. Dexter's going to try his best and stay alive in his engagement, but Time to Shine. They got Daddy on the high ground position. He has so much information for the rest of his squad. It's absolutely insane. But just Europe, they're also in the background, potentially going for a third party on this engagement. Time to Shine and also 4 Romanian men really not having a lot of fun in this time.
Yeah, Time to Shine have at least been pretty reactive with these circles, but they haven't made things easy for themselves upon these positioning as they hold on to a little bit of a backline third party.
I can hear so much shooting right now in my headset. It's absolute insanity. I think it's just World War III currently happening on our screens right now in this Sanhok game, and I'm really thinking that a lot of these teams are having a lot of fun. It's Time to Shine. They lost, unfortunately, 2 players, Naya and Will. Swave, Daddy still alive. Now they're going to be spotting out Clay GLA. That is maybe a shot Daddy did not really want to take, because I don't know if the information was given over earlier, but now is a fact that information has been given over to the other squad, as 4 Romanian men did get dropped in 8th.
Yeah, a bit of a unfortunate end for 4 Romanian men. Not bad. Couple of points they'll get for their finishing spot with a number of those kills. Universe also looking for a pretty strong result off the back of what was a poor game one from them. Gaijin and Clay GLA firmly inside the circle.
Yeah, the Noisy Boys, they lost Ked. You know what? One player they still got is SavageX, and he's the clutch god of Europe. He can still get some results. I think he just spotted Yuzi there. Going for the sprays a little bit off to the right. Unfortunately, will not get any extra damage. The YAKUZA down to only Yuzi. If they can keep him alive, they might be able to pull a little sneaky on these teams. But otherwise, they might just be sealing their fate in stone. And unfortunately, they might just not be able to have any influence on their scores in the future. They lose this one. But still, trying their best to make their way downhill. But it's going to be an extremely hard achievement for them to do.
Smoke's being thrown out by the Noisy Boys. Gaijin Universe inside that one compound that is still inside the circle. Clay GLA have firm control on the western side. All of the team inside that one area, but it's going to be getting knocked, getting killed, and Gaijin climbing up.
Gold Touch taking 1 knock plus hit mid HP. He's just actually saving the fight for Universe. And even Error remains. Sure, he goes down himself, but he is the main reason why Universe will stay alive in this fight. Gold Touch playing Assassin's Creed in this game and also pulling the huge engagement in the 1v2. What an impressive play from him, allowing Everett to continue 4th in this game.
True sacrificial lamb indeed is BeMyLOOT looking for Clay GLA. It's the last player standing for BeMyLOOT.
Yeah, BeMyLOOT trying his best. Glad G. Nade utility coming on through. He's going to try and cook it up to perfection, but hard boy, he is a fast boy indeed.
That's a bit risky.
Moving behind, but you know what? He's going to make it just in time. Now Clay GLA got to think, but they got such a nice little spread for themselves. They got so much control in this game as Maskoff of the Noisy Boys across on over might get the surprise factor onto BeMyLOOT. They're just not expecting the Noisy Boys to be around there. I mean, the last player, Maskoff of the Noisy Boys, to be in that position. As here it is, the spray will be coming on through. They're going to be finding down Sultan. Very sad. One player of the Noisy Boys. I thought there was only one player. They're still remaining as the 3-man team. I did not see that. I thought it was just Maskoff. What the hell? Okay.
Yeah, it was that flank play that came out from Maskoff, and then they're going to come in. That's going to be the end of BeMyLOOT. Clay are still inside this game. Gaijin could also benefit from this third partying from the side.
Oh, the Noisy Boys subject drops down instantly. Clay GLA, you got to take that control of the compound. Taking one, taking two. Raxman making things happen versus the Noisy Boys. But still, Chicken Dinner followed up with a third position. The Noisy Boys can be extremely proud of their performances. But now it's down to two teams and one team that desperately needs a good result. That is Gaijin. Only one kill, unfortunately, going their way. But Dobo, if he can take this 1v4, this might be redeeming grace for Gaijin to get themselves into the semi-finals.
It's still going to be an overall fantastic game for Gaijin.
9
He
kills.
won 1 kill, second place. That is going to be 15 points unless he does climb out the 1v4.
Just also state something about Clay GLA. They are the team currently with the least, with 0 chicken dinners, but the highest team in terms of overall standings with the least, with 0 chicken dinners. They're currently standing in 7th position. Great stuff on them. There it is, the spray coming on through. They know exactly where Dobo is. He's trying his best. Unfortunately, the blue zone is pushing against him. He's going to have to go out. And eventually, I think he might just decide to go down to the blue zone to deny a kill away from Clay GLA. Going for the spray early on, almost able to find a knockdown. But Clay GLA, they're just pushing that one. They are relentless on the second game of the day. And that's going to be Clay GLA securing the second chicken dinner of the day.
Just, yeah, and their very first chicken dinner in the PMCO group stage, as you had mentioned, they'd yet to win one, but now by winning one, they firmly put themselves in sights of getting the top of the spot coming into the semi-finals and finals. What a great game for them. Of course, Gaijin, second place, as I said, with that 1 kill, that's going to be 15 points, 15 much needed points for them.
Oh my god, that's going to be so good. But yeah, Gaijin definitely happy with those 15 points. That's going to help them quite a fair amount. We'll have to see exactly where they currently stand in the rankings after this game. So really interested to see. But going back to the Noisy Boys, as I said, right, chicken dinner. Then after that, a third position with 6 kills going away. I mean, slowly but surely, I got the impression the Noisy Boys are making a name for themselves as potentially, and tell me if I'm wrong, Imperium, but potentially the most consistent team in European PMCO for the full split at least. One of the most consistent.
In theory, no, I'm gonna disagree for now, simply because of the fact that Godsend yesterday got 4 strong results, as in they were the first team to get 4 games over 10 points. Of course, 2 of them being chicken dinners. If Noisy Boys can somewhat replicate that, I will agree, but we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, I think, like, I mean, we had the Noisy Boys Day, you know, like the new vacation day, the new national day. That you do not go to work, you do not go to school during the Noisy Boys Day. All you do on the Noisy Boys Day is eat some gamer food and also watch some PUBG Mobile esports. That is what that is the spirit of the Noisy Boys Day. But you know what? Fair enough. We'll try and see if in your heart they might become the consistent team very soon. But in my heart, they are already. With that said, that's going to be game number 2 in the books. We're done with that one. Clay GLA securing their very first chicken dinner. It doesn't even feel like their first chicken dinner because once again, they got so many goddamn good results. They were in 7th position before this. We're interested to see where they are, but I'm going to update the standings and then we'll have a quick look at where the teams might just be after these 2 games.
Man, wow. Like, I know we're going to be going from the top of the standings, and, you know, as we show it,
is up now.
I just can't believe how much of a difference that Godsend and Noisy Boys have over GSG. You know, I'm gonna say Atlantes Cycle for now, but Atlantes Cycle are playing in today's games along with Scrim Farm. But just that difference in points is incredible.
So we're going to be seeing the overall standings so far. The Noisy Boys, hey, you know what? Unless they get like 2 games in a row with only 1 point, which then the Noisy Boys, that should potentially not be the case. But the Noisy Boys, literally, if they get 1 kill, they are in number 1 position. They're over Godsend. Literally, 1 kill is all they need because after that, you know, every game, even if you go out in 16s, you get 1 positioning point minimum. So 1 kill is all the Noisy Boys need, and they'll be in number 1 position. Now you just really have to see if GS Europe are going to try and overtake that position. But you know what? Hitting that 40 point over 2 games might be a little bit tricky for them. Hopefully, they'll be able to follow suit with that. But yeah, now I think the Imperium, I'm slowly going to be going over to the lower section because that's where most of the hype is built up. It's 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Low sides of the standing. We're going to have a few little sneaky changes happening around here. As YAKUZA PX still in 22nd, looking really good. But Laka Nostra keeps on sliding game after game.
They're down to 23rd. Gaijin moving up to 24th. They started this game on 25th. with those 15 points, they've pushed BeMyLOOT down to 25th. They're both in today's game, so that's very important for Gaijin coming into the last two. Of course, Lack and Nosher, like I said, they're going to be biting their nails, hoping that BeMyLOOT choke in the next two games. BeMyLOOT only need 13 or 14 points in the next two games to push down Lack and Nosher Power, because I do believe that Gaijin should be okay to secure the 4 or 5 points needed to overtake Lack and Nosher Power. However, TSC Legends, even though they moved up to 26th from 28th, it's nearly there. It's nearly there.
Nearly.
TSC. Nearly.
Yeah, but like I want to say right now, Nox, I don't want to say it's impossible, but is extremely unlikely. Would be what I'm gonna say. You need about like what I said, Nox, right?
Yeah,
I said Nox. Okay, no, because like they need, I would say, a minimum 50 points over 2 games, which I gotta say, even teams like Bigatron struggle to do that over 2 games in a row. So Nox, as I said, not impossible, but extremely unlikely they're going to make it through. But you know what? Hope it's still in the air. Same for Carabao Courses. They're in the same boat at this stage. So they can still trample on through. But you know what? Magic is a team that can still pull a rabbit out of their hat, put a little sneaky magic trick on you and make it through. But it's just, once again, it's just so damn close. If they qualify, it would be barely.
It would be. And, you know, of course, Magic Universe Romanian Squad, they still do have a chance. I can't help but feel a little bit disappointed with Universe and Romanian Squad. I don't mean that in a super bad way, but coming into this, like, I played with the guys from Romanian Squad. I talked to them. They felt prepared. They felt confident coming into the PMCO, and it's overall been somewhat lackluster for them. And I know they're going to be disappointed. And I have so much love and respect for every single one of these teams and all the players in the teams, but I can't help but speak a little bit of truth when it comes to both Universe and Romanian Squad. It's been poor for them.
Well, there you have it. That is Sanhok. We expected it to be a hectic game, but actually FOI was pretty, I wouldn't say normal, but a very organized, very by the book kind of Sanhok. Not as hectic as I thought it would be. So you know what? I'm still really happy with how that game did it roll out for us and for you guys at home. But with that said, as always, we're going to go for a short break. Game 3 is going to be back on the good old cold battleground of Vikendi. So if you want to check that out, stick around. We'll be back shortly for game number 3. And 2 more games to go before we crown our top 24 teams moving to the next stage, which will be the semi-finals. See you guys right there.
Ground. Roy's countering. Percocet gets the knock.
Oh, another one.
Quick counter.
The trade. Sam with the drop shot from behind. Unsuccessful on that. J7 coming in for the support.
We are back once again, ladies and gents. We're going to be diving to our third game of the day. And I think Imperium might know exactly where we might be heading.
I'll tell you, luckily I have a great, beautiful beard to keep my face warm, but the rest of me is freezing because we're heading over to Vikendi for game 3, Max.
I'm knocking my head in my microphone right now. I've lost hope, guys. Please help me. Call the SPA or something. I'm getting abused over here, guys. Thank you very much. But with that said, yes, as you might see from his background, we're going to be heading on to Vikendi, apparently, with that guy over there, Imperium. And hopefully it's going to be fun times. But yeah, so it's going to be in 20 seconds going into our Vikendi, a final Vikendi game of this group stage.
Yeah, now a little bit of an update on the overall standings. We do apologize. We didn't realize when we showed the updated standings that there had been a mistake. Instead of the scores from the end of game 2 being inputted, they inputted the scores of game 1. So please ignore the overall standings that we had shown you at the end of game 2. Once they are clearly updated, hopefully by the end of this game, we will be able to give you a clearer idea of who is where coming into the last game.
Yeah, we'll get that all of updated, but at the end of the day, we still know which teams we've got to keep an eye focused on, like TSC Legends, Gaijin, all those big boys down there. Got to get some big results in. Well, otherwise, even if the standings aren't updated, we know that that's not going to be the results they are expecting to achieve. With that said, playing pod's going to be coming on through. TSC Legends very thoughtful. They know that, you know what, Sirens, they're not in this lobby. We're going to go straight up north. Them and Romanian Squad, I gotta say, I'm really happy on the amount of research they've potentially done, because they're going for the areas where they know that no fights could really come to them in the early stages.
Yeah, true. And with this phase 1 circle being not too heavily up north, it does complement the playing path a tiny bit. We'll make it a little bit more spacious up around the north side between Cretius and Sabava, but I do believe that the noisy boys might want to head up there, because that's normally where they like to loot up. It just might take a couple of vehicles along the way.
Yeah, that could be the case. 4 many men actually sending 2 players right on castle, which is a position I see now time and time again. A few teams actually aim for. They send 2 players inside a castle and a few players aiming around just in case a bridge count situation does happen. They do make up for it pretty good. I see Imperium on my screen. He's getting undressed. I like it. You know what? It's Vikendi, so I like it when things get a little bit steamy over here. Imperium's getting really cool. As you didn't hear Imperium, didn't hear what I was saying right there.
I didn't hear
I said you're taking your clothes off, and I was like, it's getting steamy over here. We need some heat as we're going on Vikendi, so I like it. There you go.
I was so roasting in that hoodie, like the things I do for art.
Smoker, Jody. Oh, no way, man. That was oh no, he's playing. Man. Come on, end his suffering. There you go. Thank you very much, Jody. I appreciate that.
But yeah. Oh god, yeah, I'm so roasting. So Nox, fortunately suffering from an early death. Will be down to 3 players. 2 of them are on the opposite side of the road, Sparta and Orkzan. Maybe Jody could get clapped back by them. They have to take it easy. They won't want to take an early game fight, to be perfectly honest, unless they are guaranteed to win it. So they're better off laying low for now, as a couple of shots are going to be fired through.
I mean, I'm going to just think a little bit. If I was in their shoes, what would I do? I saw it was Scream Farm that got the knock, and I know this is a team that played extremely aggressive on their first game. They're looking extremely dominant.
Okay.
Is this a fight that you think is interesting for you to take? Wouldn't you try and take a fight versus potentially, you know, TSC Legends, Gaijin, or other teams that are down there? Is this a fight that is worth taking? Because sure, you want to try and get as many points as possible, but also you can think you can even double those points, like theoretically speaking, by 9 points away from teams that are in the same area as you. I think that this is a fight that Nox should not go for.
I agree, but to kind of caveat that, their backs are against the wall. They've kind of got nothing to lose. Yeah, they're still in with a chance, but maybe taking a risk this late stage of the game, as Sparta does indeed do with the MP5K, could pay off. Arxen was able to give that information over, by the way, and now that's going to give time and space for Nox to join up together and try and get that double kill.
And what that Sparta position enabled really this entire fight to happen. They were able to put off the horizontal Zodian. Hopefully he was able to find some meds. So I think, yeah, he's indeed going to be healing down there under the staircase. Yeah. It is all healed up. Scream Farm, they got 2 of the players at a distance, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be sending the cavalry on over, but Orksan's going to be taking the early fight. Confirms that kill. So they're going to be taking a 1v2. I mean, Orksan, the clutch machine for Nox. Now Scream Farm, they send 2 of the players, but this might be a little bit too late as Orksan's going to be knocked away. What are you doing, Sparta? Where are you, mate?
Yeah, I couldn't have said that better myself. I was looking at it going, why aren't you joining up with your teammate? He's not even moving. He got the double kill. You didn't move at all. You had a good 5 to 6 seconds to join up with your teammate. Could have clapped back. I'm not saying it would have worked out, but at least play on the same boat, in the same level. The good thing is that because he hasn't moved, he might be able to get a surprise knock. But he's making it harder for himself.
I mean, not only that, but we're talking about him not joining on a fight, but where the hell is Shaco? I mean, this is not League of Legends. Here, Shaco can't go invisible. So you know what? I think that's something that's not really possible for him. Sparta going to be moving on by with the MP5K. He's got 40 bullets. Pretty good weapons. Go for the clutch moves. Spray comes on through very early. Oh my god, he jumps down, but he's going to be instantly punished. And Shaco will be the only one remaining as they confirm that kill. And Nox really, this alone, in my opinion, is the game that just shoots them in the foot. Like, they literally just can't, they can't make their way forward. They needed about 50 points, I said. Right now, if they lose this game, 50 points is one game. I would say right now is almost impossible.
It is almost impossible. The good thing is that is inside the circle. So in theory, what he can do, especially with it being so north, he can go a bit closer to the center circle. Maybe even the Goraka compound. I know Romanian Squad are there, but just hide in a building and hope for the absolute best. We do see Time to Shine getting quite close to Clay GLA. A Sensei God purchases himself towards Mount Kresnik, and GSG on towards TSC.
I mean, GSG, they all found it down in the overall rankings, but TSC, they are not kicking off, you know, pretty good results overall in the 2 first games. So now let's see if Antho can try and redeem this one. Ditati up top, unfortunately got knocked down. They're going to be pushing their way towards Antho. Antho able to find a knock for himself. Still got a few bullets over there, but the MP5K of Law will be deadly. More cause a knockdown onto an extra play of TSC Legend. Where's the rest of TSC Legend? Like, the teams I'm expecting the big results from are playing so far from each other. I am genuinely surprised because that is not something you're supposed to do too much in a Vikendi game.
I was just gonna say, especially in Vikendi, especially with that plane path and the phase 1 circle, you are taking unnecessary risks being separated. You might want to land together, then do a tiny bit of looting and then split rotate. But yeah, it's not necessary, especially when you're TSC trying to gather those points.
Actually, you know what? On what I said, actually, I'm going to take that back. Okay, I'm going to rephrase what I just said right there. It's okay to drop split as long as you react to teams getting close to you efficiently. Or you play the passive approach, the team gets close, you get in your car, you leave, get back to the rest of your team. If you got a team that's here and you want to play the aggressive approach, what you do, all of the other players that are not with you in a car and breach it instantly. That's what we saw Scrim Farm do early, right? Sure, a little bit delayed. They did lose 1 player. He got confirmed out of the lobby. 2 players, actually, in fact. But really, here, the reactions from both Nox and TSC Legends are a little bit on the least efficient way, I would say. So really not the kind of performances they are hoping to achieve in these games.
And it's only going to benefit the likes of Universal Romanian Squad guys and BeMyLOOT and the teams ahead of them. You know, so we'll have to wait and see. But talking about, well, not a Romanian team, not Romanian Squad, but 4 Romanian men getting pretty close to the Noisy Boys.
Yeah, they're going to get a little bit closer to each other. They'll be having a fight breaking out very soon. And we did have then the overall rankings updated Imperium, so that's something that did come on through. So real quick, we can say that the 4 Romanian men currently in 17th position was 88 points. And I think that we can say now that they are looking very, very comfortable indeed. They're on like an IKEA like sofa at this stage. Very comfortable. They can just have a nap and they'll be completely fine. But the Noisy Boys, very spread next to this roadside, making himself potentially easy prey to the hands of 4 Romanian men.
Do you have an IKEA sofa?
I mean, I think like 90% of what I have in my apartment is from IKEA. I'm a student, dude.
I was expecting some lavish French furniture with you being French, you know?
Do you think I'm rich, dude? I eat ramen almost every single day. Like, What are you expecting? Also, I'm a weeb. This wish doesn't help.
Still, hey man, I don't know, dude. I was just trying to be a little bit stereotypical. I wasn't trying to apply logic here.
You know the weeb, like I spend like maybe 90% of my budget on like anime figurines and mangas. Like, you know?
That is true.
And body pillows, but I don't talk about that on broadcast. Even though don't meme that, please guys. Please don't do that. I feel really lonely at night. But with that said, 4 Romanian men making their way to the compound of the Noisy Boys.
He mixes both and just buys anime body pillows.
I feel exposed right now. Cakes of the Sirens is also a big weeb. She's gonna make fun of me. Please don't. I feel bad.
Body pillows as well.
Imagine an Imperium body pillow.
Man, no way.
I just nightmare fuel. Oh no. Elusive, it's gonna go down.
maybe an Imperium punching bag, but not body pillow.
That would buy. Oh, stonks, invest. I will invest in that. I think everyone would like an Imperium punching bag right there. Yeah, 4 Romanian men then picking up 2 kills on the Noisy Boys. And as I said, they were so spread next to the road, they were making themselves potentially easy pickings. And that ended up indeed being the case.
And because 4 Romanian men have done enough, as you pointed out, 88 points, they can possibly afford to take a few more risks, right? And yeah, they could have used that knock to disengage because he earned the south edge of the circle. But I respect them for going for that kill.
Carabac Horses down south, like next to the Noisy Boys and 4 Romanian men. Carabac Horses, they really can't afford to lose this fight. Like, they're in a similar position as to Nox, but Nox is done for. And really now Carabac Horses, they're going to try and make the most out of that position. So maybe things could be going in a pretty sweet fashion for them. TSC Legends, very wide rotation. I think GSG Europe were definitely trying to contest their position next to Trevno. And they were like, you know what, a team is nearby. We're going to go really wide up in a northern coastline. TSC Legends, in my opinion, right now have a really good approach, and the mindset seems pretty on point.
Just looking at 4 Romanian men. WWS got knocked, and that is kind of the product of, although doing a good job of getting a kill, then starting to be slower, meaning you give your opponents more of a chance to reposition to try and catch you out. We did see Carabac Horses rotate and get close, so there could be a little bit of a third party. I know Carabac Horses won't want to take too many risks, so they might just rotate past the fight there and try and get into the circle themselves. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see, as 4 Romanian men still fighting against the Noisy Boys.
Yeah, adds a little bit of rush really to this compound fight. So there's an extra time factor getting involved right now. So they're thinking of potentially disengaging. I mean, Cared Subjects, they both got really nothing to win out of this. And they're both still fighting for that #1 position. After the current real update of the overall standings, they're currently still in 2nd position. They were not 197 like earlier. They're currently at 183, which is still very, very close. But they can easily make it if they just get 2 half-decent results. They could be #1 in the group stage.
Exactly, indeed. So, still, you can't help but feel that both of these teams are maybe being a bit too stubborn, Max. As they are close to the south edge of the circle, the longer they leave it to either take the fight or disengage, the harder it's going to be to find that position coming into phase 3, phase 4 of Vikendi, where it can be quite hard to play around, where there can be multiple teams in small compounds that you can get picked off from. So yeah, I feel like one of them needs to go for the strike, to go for the fight, and control the destiny of this game's result for them.
Romanian Squad, we've seen them right now. They're currently in 27th, right? Like, they are a team that can still aim for that position high up there. They can overtake a lot of the squads. So we'll have to see how that could be potentially following on suits. They can try and overtake it. And actually, because of the once again the updated score, so Lacunostra Power are currently in 22nd position. So they were like in 23rd earlier, but now they went back up in 22nd was the actual true standings. But I think that's definitely something to keep in mind. They currently were like 77 points, same as Yakuza PX and BeMyLOOT.
Yeah.
So they're both doing pretty good for being able to overtake that position away. So props to them. But the Noisy Boys, really, they started moving one by one. Able to find a few extra buildings, but they're just not quite ready to disengage. But 2 teams that need good results, getting really close to each other.
Did you say Yakuza is on the same points as Lacunostra?
They are.
No, they're not. If you refresh on your side, sorry, Max. They're Yakuza, because I think they've been a little bit slow to update.
They're on 86. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they're on 86 points, which is 19th spot. So sorry about that. There was a little bit of a Confusion, they had been wrongly updated, as it said, but yeah, Yakuza
Even better.
even better, exactly. So I think they have pretty much secured their spot.
Yeah, they're just doing like the rumba right now. Like, oh yeah, more points for us, man. Look at us go. We didn't even know we were that good. Look at that. So they're looking very happy indeed. There's now a TSC. You know what? They heard Gaijin and they got away from just Europe. They heard Gaijin. They're like, we don't know which team this is. We don't want to get involved. Please get away from us. We don't like it. And you know what? Social distancing also is still in Vega if it's on Vikendi on the battlegrounds of PUBG Mobile. So please wear a mask and don't get too close because otherwise I'm calling the police.
Oh, talking about bottom half of the standings, Romanian Squad Max, 27th with 61 points. They landed and dropped in Grocka. They haven't had to move a muscle. They're positioned at high ground to the north of Grocka, is firmly in the middle of the circle. They're going to have a lot of sight lines of what teams are around them. However, to caveat that, if they're not aggressive enough in protecting their position, we could see them getting closed upon.
Oh my god, well there you go. That's the way to initiate the fight. Kamara is going to be knocked out instantly. Tarek's got a nice little angle. You know what? Trying to make up for that little bit of a weaker end game they had earlier on Sanhok, where they got really surprised from the back end. And I think they definitely did not have a fun time over there. Now just Europe, one of the top teams in this lobby, looking good. They got 2 players up above, Law and Andelito. And I think like Law in this entire lobby of the players that we do not know has potentially been one of the biggest surprises going into this full split PMCO. So Law definitely has got a lot to prove from with the rest of his team. But Kamara trying to make his way over to Rafek. You know what? They got a smoke, a lob of utility coming on through to deny the flush. Magic trying to potentially win a little bit more ground. But another fight is happening down south. That's team number 12. That is actually going to be, I think it's YAKUZA PX down there.
It is YAKUZA PX. Might be looking to third party. Magic still in the fight, although it is looking very risky indeed. It's a matter of could it be Magic? Could it be Magic now? In the words of Take That. Of course, you wouldn't know them. They're a 90s boy band in my era, in my time. And now they're coming back in the 21st century to hopefully take out GSG. But GSG are disengaging. See, I like that. That's intelligence, right? You know there's plenty of compounds. Why take the fight when you don't need to? It's only phase 3.
Yeah, they're just moving away. There's only one direction over there. One direction. Another boys band. I know you're a big fan of Imperium. You love them. You've got like posters everywhere on your walls. So there you go, guys. If you want to make Imperium happy, just send him like DMs with like pictures of a few of the singers of One Direction. He'll love it. He'll love it to bits.
You know, I actually no, I didn't deserve that. I didn't actually no, I did roast you. So yeah, I deserved that. But,
Is it revenge for the roast of yesterday, Imperium? Are we still there?
Well, no, I was thinking it was a revenge for the roast on the body pillows of anime people, especially Naruto.
I mean that's not roast. That's 100% facts. I don't know what you're coming through. Like,
Clay GLA, time to shine on top of the coal mine area. It's kind of a bit risky because disengaging away from the high coal mine region can be a little bit tough. However, there are multiple ways you can move out from there, so they could go kind of to the west or to the east a little bit safely.
Mega Dragon's going to make their way up there. Position. The Sajek's really trying to buy as much time. He does not want to move. He's like, everyone to play on the edge of the circle. And you know that on Vikendi specifically, you really need that man advantage to go for kind of like aggressive repositions, because if you do not have information like they do, it might make things a little bit more tricky. As Amiga Dragons, they did lose Antifa. They're remaining with Sibi, Broody, and Miruta. And Miruta, I like the name, but you know what? It's so close to being called Mojito. Like, I would love to have a pro player being called Mojito because it's my favorite drink. I would love that.
Despacito, this is how we do it now.
What? How? Wait, Imperial, wait, I got it. Wait, how do you go from Mojito going to Despacito?
Because they're both kind of Spanish infused, or Mexican infused, or you know, Latino infused. Despacito, Mojito, Mojuto, Mamacita.
Cállate. I mean, that means shut up in Spanish. There you go.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. So Omega Dragons, really, you know, such a great team. You know, talked a bit to Broody as well, and they're just great bunch of Spanish people. And I think with the success, and that's the thing, like the success of UDR Killers, who are another Spanish side, it's inspiring teams like Omega Dragons to perform better and get more done.
I mean, that I talked about this, the Noisy Boys, right? The fact that they had no information because they were playing on the edge, and the lack of information just forced them right into a compound that was currently occupied. They just got absolutely pummeled into the ground, so very unfortunate. The Noisy Boys out in 15th position, but once again, by the amount of consistency they were able to build up throughout the entire group stage, you know what? One bad game happened from time to time, so that is completely okay. We'll see them in game number 4. A circle shift, actually. Ooh, interesting. Next to Mouse Kresnik.
It's going to be a bit tougher for Romanian Squad because now they're outside the circle and Universe are in front of them along with the likes of BeMyLOOT. Talking about BeMyLOOT, on the 4 Romanian men from behind. A strike through from Bobby.
Reminds me. What English, guys? Welcome to the English classroom with Max, man. Hope you're ready to worsen your English language. But with that said, you know, 4 Romanian men, we saw them in
English language. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm gonna mess up your minds, guys. You're not even ready. But like 4 Romanian men in the pro scrims, their team are like next to Mount Kresnik specifically, they're doing really well. Even though BeMyLOOT got the upper hand on them, like if you got WWS still alive in that game, like he is such a dominant force in that area. I can't even fathom how they're going to play that fight. But time to shine and engaging. They're going to have a little bit of a fight of their own. And interesting to see, but apparently BeMyLOOT versus 4 Romanian men, they're going to be winning. And as I said, like 4 Romanian men, they're strong next to Mount Kresnik. That might be the team you just don't want to fight in that area.
Oh, YAKUZA pushing on into Universe. Romanian Squad coming in from behind. Potential third party from high up. You also have, I think, BeMyLOOT up as well around that area. This is going to be so tough for YAKUZA to pull off.
Yeah, unexpected sandwich position. But Universe being very respectful straight away, just sending players on the other side of the road. They still got Dissy over there that a Smoke Pro could easily retrieve his life, and I think that might be the play they're going for. But
yeah,
we said it from the backside. Romanian Squad, they got the angles, and YAKUZA PX not really being that respectful of that team being behind them, and they're actually going to be losing potentially a player from that. Yuzi and Time is both knocked away. So really, they have to be a little bit more respectful when a team behind you has the high ground. They should have been careful on how they're going to peak that.
Yeah, they kind of weren't really expecting. I think it was also just a bit of a wild rotation. They didn't realize that Romanian Squad were around them. But now Romanian Squad turned their attentions solely to Magic as the blue zone closes in. Cable is going to get put down to the blue zone. Atticus is trying to hold on, as well as Ra going to look to perk up a first aid.
You're approaching me, Jojo. Yes, I cannot beat your butt if you're not getting close. Haha, so get close as much as you want. As the T-Goes comes around, but unfortunately, the blue zone is going to be the DO of this lobby. He's going to be knocking him down. Romanian Squad and down to only 2. Now it's going to be Chris and Ra as they just get absolutely destroyed. This blue zone on Vikendi doesn't happen too often, but here is claiming teams, entire teams for itself. The blue zone definitely do not overlook it, or otherwise it'll go down like that.
Oh, biggest anime betrayal as Romanian Squad go out. That's going to be a poor finish off the back of what was potentially going to be a very good result for them. Of course, as the circle shifts up, YAKUZA on that wild rotation, hey, it's paid off because the protection of those buildings has kept them alive along with the teams around them.
I really like it. I like how, like, I don't know, I'm just thinking, like, I like how the fact in Pyramid, you know what anime, and yet you're getting now the references, like, over time as people spamming you with anime jokes and references, you're starting to get them. It's pretty funny, but just Europe, yeah, taking a few spray from a distance. Really good smokes. Going to be giving him quite a bit of coverage, but Law, unfortunately, they're just not quite ready to go for that res up, and he's prefer resing up someone that is extremely low. He had to make a decision. Doesn't happen very often, but they had to take a decision. Is Law on Delito or Law? He went for Delito. There was in a way safer position to pull off that res.
Oh, time to shine. They're going in full sending it. 0 F's given as they're going to breach on the compound of Universe. Knocked down onto Era, but Suede is going to get clapped in return. In comes in Daddy with the side, reload the gun, change it to the Uzi. They want to go for the fire rate as Broly gets returned on. 2 players left for Universe. Upstairs of the building, Molotov going to be thrown out. Possibly a grenade for time to shine to clear out the squad wipe.
YAKUZA actually stealing frags away onto this young Gotosh. They did such a good amount of kills in this lobby. Really good stuff indeed. But I mean, time to shine. We critiqued during the pro scrims their synergy because they were newly formed team, but like the talents are indeed very old and they are true OGs in the community. And they start building up that synergy. I mean, that breach was just so well executed. I loved it. And they even got the res down to Sweat, so they shall remain as a 4-man team. But now, if you want to have 100% control on this building, you might have to try and take a little bit more control. Push onto this young Gotosh to have that building for yourselves.
the last strong result Time to Shine got was in their last Vikendi game, so it could be their good fortune. Of course, Swave getting dropped to the floor again. That's stopping their push onto the rest of the universe. You talked about YAKUZA. YAKUZA are being a thorn in the side for Time to Shine.
Poor Swave, stop bullying him, guys. He did nothing wrong. He's just here chilling, having a good time. Please stop those shenanigans. Look at that. Yuzi's still coming in hot, taking so many frags. I would love to see how many kills they got for themselves. I think it's a pretty chunky amount. Now I just help it where it is. They're coming around. Knock, knock. Who's there? It's us. It's Time to Shine. Taking a straight from behind. Try to switch weapon, but unfortunately it will not be enough for this. The Universe eliminated overall in 8th position. 17 still in play. But Time to Shine, they got already 7 frags and they're looking for more. Yeah. They're aiming for the #1 spot. They might just be able to get it with results like this.
And also, they must have listened to you because Swave wasn't the one to get dropped. It was actually Will. But of course, the successful engagement paid off as they now gain control of one of the 2 compounds in circle on this shift. BeMyLOOT down on the south side. They have to go across the open, snowy terrain, which is going to be so tough. God knows how little utility they have because they've been in this area for quite a while. A little bit of a Zima vehicle that they could use to send 2 players up. That's exactly what they're doing. Bit of a risk, but it could be rewarded.
I mean, you got to go for it, Imperium, at some point in time. You know, you got to go back to the wall. You got to go for the breach, and that is exactly what they're going to try and aim for. Take it on over, losing absolutely no players on that extra push. They got now 2 players in the circle, an extra foothold, so now they can send the rest of their team inwards and hold that location, which I like is pretty damn good. But Pain, unfortunately, going to be peeled and shut down by Tarek for Magic. And now they're going to be trying to make the most out of that, trying to confirm that kill. But really, this is a good rotation from BeMyLOOT. I like how they executed this rotation overall.
Oh, BeMyLOOT suffering casualties as Time to Shine add more kills to their game. That's going to be 9. Can they make it double digits as they fight to close out this chicken dinner? BeMyLOOT, with those players still left in the game, able to close out the last remaining player of Magic. Naya gets dropped out in the open. Omega Dragons trying to fight for the top 24 are still in this game.
Yeah, Omega Dragons, they're slowly pushing their way in forward. It's going to be a hard one indeed. They're only in 20th position. They can't afford bad results. And you know what? Taking a minimum top 4, that is definitely going to be helping them quite a fair amount. So Omega Dragons definitely putting the results in they needed today. And also 16th position. That's for BeMyLOOT Imperium. I think they just made, I think they qualified basically because of the results they were able to pull in through today. So really proud of this team. But now we'll see who can take this chicken dinner on Vikendi. It's Time to Shine. They got 9 kills. I mean, this team has, like, as I said, the most improvement throughout this entire full split. And I love every single second where I see them play.
Yeah, really not surprised. Like Swave, Daddy, Will, Naya, they are individually very credible players indeed. Joining together, they have, of course, put all their powers together. But can they get the chicken dinners? BeMyLOOT has won by the drop. Very little area to go yet to get into the circle based on this shift on phase A. It's in the favor of Time to Shine. Even YAKUZA have to disperse from their compound going across the road. If they can create that smoke wall and spread out by the side of the wall, it could definitely pay off.
Yeah, this smoke on the left from YAKUZA is actually really helpful, but apparently they're taking maybe a little bit too long. So you know what? They're going to make something out of that smoke, and that's what Luco's going to be doing. Getting that first initial foothold over the side of the road. Going to be a great run, taking some pretty big damage, but I'm trying to be careful because behind them, sneaky Omega Dragons are coming around the corner. I could deny them down that push, but Swavy's got the AUG. That's a great weapon to have for yourself. They got the first knockdown. Luco beyond that smoke, able to buy some time, but no, Daddy gets it right through the smoke. He makes it pay off. Now they've got to try and make the most out of it. Yuzi, he's going alone. He's the only player remaining for YAKUZA PX. Now he's in the smoke, and I think this might just be the end. But you know what? Still, 3rd position for YAKUZA. That's a big win. 13 kills now picked up from Time to Shine. This team, they just can't stop. They just got to keep on delivering on this game of Vikendi.
4v2. It was the third party by BeMyLOOT to take out YAKUZA. What a great effort moving and shifting across the road out in the open by the side of the tree. Very little area of cover up on the high ground, which is a disadvantage. The revive onto Daddy leaves it up as the full squad of Time to Shine. 13 kills. Can they make it 15 with this win?
You know what I'm going to say? Time to Shine, if they want to be in top position, they need 50 points. Just about. Maybe a little bit like 55 points if they want to be in number 1 position at the end of the day. These results might actually just allow them to do so. So you know what? With this, if they take a chicken dinner, they're going to get themselves, with the extra kills on the other side, they'll be at 35 points, which is a huge achievement. They're going to find Bobby. Now it's down to 3v1. So you know what? If they get this game, another good performance, and they might just be #1 in the lobby. But the spray comes off through from Kaladi. Unfortunately, it will not be enough. And time to shine. They make it happen. They take the Vikendi chicken dinner. They make things happen. But of course, it's a chili Vikendi chicken dinner. So don't forget to defrost it before cooking it.
Shine on, you crazy diamond. The chicken dinner flying on through. 15 kills. Strong result for the boys from the mixed EU side, and the fact that they push it onto Universe like that, right? I talk about doing that in multiple games, especially like Vikendi, where compounds are so heavy. That was a perfect kind of breach, because instead of half-arsing, instead of stopping halfway across, instead of only sending 2 players, the full squad went in there, which meant they were able to really put all their resources in. Yes, they kind of step back a little bit after taking down 2 members of Universe. I kind of got that because there's a tiny bit of third partying from YAKUZA, so they had to rest themselves and kind of reposition themselves somewhat around those buildings. And just one thing I noticed from time to shine, it wasn't just the fact that they were taking on YAKUZA, they were also taking on and taking down the last player of Omega Dragons. The communication, the synergy, the leadership required, you know, at the late game from that kind of game is so important, and that shows, as you pointed out, how much time to shine have improved.
I'm seeing also right now on our screen, TSC Legend once again at 13th position, was only 1 kill going over to Albi. That is not really the result they're looking for. I mean, they can still pull on through, but right now they kind of put themselves in a very, very precarious situation, because the next game, and look, I'm going to say right now, TSC Legends, if they want to qualify, next game has to be TSC Legends chicken dinner with a pretty hefty kill count too. If they do not, TSC Legends unfortunately might just be going out of the group stage right away. So TSC Legends, this must be a lot of stress on their shoulders, but if they can deal and fathom with that pressure, they might just be able to pull through.
They might indeed. And on the opposite end, you know, I talked about Omega Dragons, or time to shine taking out Omega Dragons. Omega Dragons with 4 kills, they got 12 points, finishing in a 4th place overall. And then YAKUZA as well, getting 14 points on that push down towards a compound across the way from overall time to shine. Much needed result for them. Magic, unfortunately, because the likes of Omega Dragons and YAKUZA got a strong result, it's going to make it not as beneficial for them in the overall standings. But the question is, as we will of course be showing the results, have Lack and Nostra lost the top 24 spot?
Sorry, I was sneezing right there. That was really got me in the middle of that. But I'm going to be seeing so far the top of the standings. Let's see where the teams are currently at. There, but say Godsend still in #1 position was 199 points. The Noisy Boys slowly catching up. You know what? They're not too far behind. Need just an extra 13 points, and they should be able to overtake this squad. Now GS Europe also trying to climb back up, 160. Unfortunately, as time goes by, taking the #1 spot might be a little bit too complicated unless they can take a chicken dinner with also 20 kills, which is possible. We saw it happen a few times, but that's a pretty rare occurrence, right? Now Imperium, let's go down below, see where the teams are currently are. And that's going to be basically deciding what teams must do going into our final game of the day.
Yeah, the question has been answered. Lack and Nostra Power, unfortunately, have dropped down to 25th. As we all know, they are not playing in today's games. That is them out of the PMCO group stage. As I said, it was overall a lackluster 12 games for them. Disappointing, especially considering they had managed to get a chicken dinner. But I hope you guys build up, come back stronger. I know the Albanian Kosovo community and the support that you guys have is incredible. So I do look forward to seeing you guys come back stronger than ever. Plenty of time to prepare and build things up for next year. But of course, the fight is still on for the likes of Universe and Magic and Romanian Squad. It's going to be a lot harder because now the only real teams in front of them, bar the real deal, are playing in this last game, right? Universe, they're in 26 on 73 points. They are only 5 points behind Gaijin, but Gaijin are playing in the next game. The only thing that Universe can hope for is that Gaijin actually get enough of a strong result to push down the real deal, and then Universe get enough of a result, which is, I think, 9 points they need to overtake the real deal and get into 24th.
Yeah, it's definitely not a lot. They can still push on through, but the real deal might be a team that could actually be qualified after this next game. I mean, like, going into this, if we said, like, if you told us, me and Imperium, before we kicked off this group stage, that the real deal would be in a position where they might not qualify and Lack on Australia is actually going to be disqualified, we'll be like, nah, you kidding, mate. You kidding. Well, this is becoming a little bit more real life focused, and indeed, Lack on Australia did get taken out. Now, already the big focus, our emphasis into this next game is going to be specified around a few teams. Specifically, it's going to be Gauging, Universe, Romanian Squad. I would even count in Magic, even though it's going to be a little bit hard, but TSC Legends, unless they pull like a banger, and I mean a bang of a performance, this might just be the end of the road for them.
Might just be indeed. Just to give a bit of a shout out to YAKUZA, moving on up to 15th overall in the standings, so the top half of leaderboard. We already know that they've secured their spot. I also want to give a shout out because they didn't get our just kind of respect due to the mistake with the overall standings after game 2. Clay GLA getting their first chicken dinner of the PMCO EU to move up to now 4th after the 3rd game. Very strong results from them. Yunka had said to you to watch out for them today, and they have lived up to that. So really strong results and really strong games for them.
Yeah, I got my eyes pried open for you guys. Don't worry. Now I'm paying heavy attention to all of that. And that's what you came back to, like you said many times. Consistency puts you in like the middle of the pack. You do pretty good. And they were like in 7th position for a pretty long period of time. And after that chicken dinner, right, those chicken dinners, once you're consistent, that is what pushes you high up in the overall standings. Currently looking really, really good in 4th position. They might be able to overtake just Europe and the Noisy Boys, but once again, now require a really good result from them. But you know what? It's not impossible whatsoever, so let's see if they can do that. But with that said, that is Vikendi in the books, done for the group stage. No more Vikendi. And now it's all coming down to this final game where the few teams that might qualify, they must be stressing out. They must be sweating so heavily right now, sweating buckets. You know what? That is fine. We'll try and keep those suspense in the air. We'll go for a very short break. Don't move. As I can tell you right now, you don't want to miss the action, because after this, we'll know which will be our top 24 teams moving to the next stage for the full split. We'll be right back in just a few short minutos.
Roy's trying to counter it. Percocet gets the knock.
Oh, another one.
Quick counter.
The trade. Sam with the drop shot from behind. Unsuccessful on that. J7 coming in for the support.
And here we go. This is the moment we've been waiting for the past 6 days. We're ready to have our top 24 teams ready to go into the semi-finals. And as it's written in your background, Imperium, I think it's now or never.
It's now or never indeed. We'll go through what kind of points the teams at the bottom of the standings need coming into this last game. But there is definitely much to win. Of course, much to lose.
Indeed, a lot to win and a lot to lose. The stakes are extremely high. And you know what? This is some very tense action, some very tense gameplay, and, you know, content for you guys at home. So you know what? I'm going to say a little something real quick. If you guys are enjoying the show, and like, you know what? I want to try and support the esports scene as a whole, even if I maybe can't invest or, you know, become a pro player or caster, because that's our job. So you can't take our job. Please leave it for us. If you guys do want to support the esports scene, you can head on over to esportsawards.com/vote and vote for PUBG Mobile to be the best esports mobile game of the year. We'll generally really appreciate that, because PUBG Mobile has been putting a lot of effort into the esports scene this year. It was 5 million total cash prize over the entirety of 2020. So that'll be an easy way to try and help the esports scene grow more and more. But with that said, Imperium, that's the plug done. Ready, only 10 more seconds to go. Can the teams down below make it happen? Can they get in the top 24 at the last minute? It's going to be clutch, man. It's really going to be damn close.
It really is going to be so damn close. Gaijin are in 24th, but they can still lose their spot. It's definitely not safe for them. Laka Nostra, as we talked about, they're out. Universal Romanian Squad, Magic, and TSC, they have a huge mountain to climb. The teams above Gaijin, Real Deal, XTEAM, and BFF, they are not playing today. So they, in theory, can also lose their semi-final spot. But this playing trajectory is going from north to south, a little bit on the west of Erangel.
Yeah, so quick recap of what the teams are looking out for. Gaijin, Universe, Romanian Squad, and also Magic. Even though Magic, if they want a game here, they're going to need a big boy performance. But mainly, those are the teams that our attention will be driven onto. So, you know what? That is why we might be talking about them quite a bit, because our attention is mostly focused on them. As I said, playing pass coming on through. Nox, putting a little sneaky on us, going high up north onto Severny, which I believe they did like once in the past already, but really trying to shift things a little bit differently and aim for a position where they know for a fact no one will be.
We were kind of talking a little bit during the break while we were getting prepared for this last game, and I firmly believe that Nox and Karabakh horses, they're out. They're out. I don't think they're gonna make it.
If they want to make it, they literally both need like the game of a lifetime. Well, I mean, a late game of a lifetime is like chicken dinner with 20 kills, which we've seen some teams pull off sometimes, but it's very rare. It's something that happens on a very, very uneven schedule. I think is very intriguing to see. But what I like to see is, for example, Karabakh horses dropping straight in Pachinki. Like, they want to aim for the kills. They know that now, as written in your background, it's now or never. They need to get kills from the early game. If you delay it too long and play passive, you will not get the points you need. TSC are there too. Damn, the Clash of Legends.
And YAKUZA as well along this area. Okay, you know what? Before this fight ensues, if Nox or Karabakh horses get enough points to get into the semi-finals, I will shave my beard.
Okay, you know what? That's a statement, guys. Write that in your agenda. And I'll shave his beard myself. If that happens. I'll go over to Ireland and we'll do a little VOD.
I'll take a flight to France and you can shave my beard. I promise you that. That is hand on heart, live and broadcast, if Nox or Karabakh horses get through to the semi-finals.
You know what? Was able to confirm 1 kill for his team. So you know what? Nice little early start for them. YAKUZA, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I mean, they already qualified. They're all looking so damn comfortable in the standings. Currently standing in 15th with 100 points exactly. Spot on 100. So you like that. But Booker, unfortunately, he's going to be knocked down. And he confirmed the kill. Woza with the PP Bison. Apparently not quite yet. But YAKUZA, just in the middle of all this, are like, they don't understand the tension that's around them. They're just like, they're having a fun time. Just as the ancient Greek prophet likes to say, they be chilling.
I don't get why TSC are trying to be somewhat so aggressive on this, because they are one of the teams that need and are realistically in the running. They, they need a minimum of 30 points, which is a chicken dinner and 10 kills. I suppose taking a risk, backs against the wall, but I feel like that's enough where if they play safe on the early game, they could execute that chicken dinner with, maybe 8-9 kills, a 10 if they are aggressive coming into the mid part of the game. But having Baka knocked down isn't going to help them in Pachinki.
Yeah, TSC, they know that they want to try and really keep that man advantage to a whole maximum. Otherwise, if they lose a play early on, it's not really good impression for the rest of this game. Wozo takes a shot, but Antho, where's the M16? Finds a little spray onto one player. That's going to be Wozo. Finds the knock. And Wozo, by being so split away from the rest of the team, you know that res is going to be extremely hard to go for and unproductive, really, to aim for. You might put yourself in a more dangerous situation. So I think that is Wozo definitely lost. And TSC, they are thirsty. They are hungry. They want to confirm that kill instantly.
Yeah, and that was so important for TSC to keep their hopes and dreams alive. That off angle by Wozo was causing them a lot of disruption, a lack of repositioning. And now it's Titan on top of the roof of this building in Pachinki looking for Ryan of YAKUZA. It's going to wait it out.
Yeah, for all, be careful there. Easy drops down, trying to get a little bit closer. TSC now, they all localize and focus in one area specifically, which I think is definitely the better approach to this kind of fight. Burger taking a few bullets from the SLR of Luco. Now you got to be careful because Karabakh horses, they're turning their backs up to YAKUZA. And YAKUZA, if they want to go for the full-on offensive, it could work out. Barracuda dropped down instantly by Antho. Antho doing so much good job, right? He's controlling that M16 so damn well. Now, once again, you got to confirm those knocks into kills. That is where the points will be ensuing for TSC and also Karabakh horses. You're muted, Imperium. Hello.
Dave, my apologies. You mentioned that YAKUZA, they've already got their top 24 spot, so I think they can have a little bit of fun in this game.
Boka, he says hello, and he goes bye-bye, but there he gets knocked down himself, actually, as I say that. Nade from down below. We're going to connect any extra damage to the Karabakh horses, but once again, this fight is so damn important for you people at home who just joined. TSC Legends and Karabakh horses both fighting to get qualified barely but surely in the semi-finals of the full split for European PMCO, and they might just be able to pull on through. But Karabakh horses, their dream is slowly fizzling out. There's only got one player remaining in this lobby. Yeah, though he is a thirsty boy, going for that thirsty kill. Picking it up for themselves, and now TSC just looking so good in this game. And now Naja, really, no, you should not go for it. You should run away. B goes down, and as he goes down, so does the hope and dreams of Karabakh horses going over to the semi-finals. We'll have to say goodbye to them. They're the third team currently 100% disqualified with Lack of Nostra Power, and also with another team which I forgot is actually vFOR.
Oh, so my beard is breathing half a sigh of relief for now. So one of the two opportunities of losing my beard has been taken out. Not that I wanted Karabakh horses to go down. No, I didn't. I wanted them to put up such a good fight. I wanted them to use my beard as motivation. But in the end, they go down. And of course, YAKUZA on the AWM Tati confirmed that kill. TSC are definitely not out of the woods in the Chinky.
Okay, making it forward to get the information onto one player. That's going to be Antho switching over to the... Oh my god, he's right behind the wall! No way! How does he make it out alive? That is extremely surprising. And he comes back and he clutches it up! Antho! You say big thank you to that door, mate. That door just saved your freaking life. And now TSC still coming on through. They've still got one player. That's going to be Albi. Antho did indeed get knocked away. Albi can still try and reclaim the life of his fallen partner. Ryan and Yuzi 1v2 versus Albi with the AKM. TSC, if they go down here, they'll also be disqualified out of this tournament and not making it over to the semi-finals. This is so close. Gets information through the window. Albi hits on one. He's going to focus on the other player. And they go down. YAKUZA PX, destroyers of hopes and dreams as they take down two teams along the way. TSC Legends and Karabakh horses. We'll have to see you next split.
High risk, high reward, but the reward hasn't been provided to TSC. Credit where it's due, put up a good fight. They certainly didn't want to be in this position coming into the last game, but they were. They tried to make the best of it, and unfortunately, it's been taken out. YAKUZA 5 kills already, and they have another team coming in from the side of church that is 4 Romanian men.
Yeah, 4 Romanian men. They're going to get very close there. Oh, it actually pushed. Whoa, they find Ryan. Okay, well, he was definitely not ready for that one. We had like 3 teams go down in 8 minutes in Pachinki, and that is why you say Pachinki is the place where legends are made and where legends shall fall. And here, 3 teams got eliminated almost instantly. Pachinki is a risky area to go for. That's a fact.
Oh my lord, oh my lord. But now as we turn our attentions to other areas of the map, GSG Europe onto Omega Dragons. Omega Dragons, with a much better day today, have secured their top 24 spot, lying currently in the overall standings 20th place on 88 points, with the 3 teams below them not playing today. Should be nice and easy for them. Of course, going out early definitely, won't help them, but I think they're pretty safe.
Now, really, the teams we've got to focus on is Romanian Squad, Universe, and Gaijin. That's where the big fight is currently happening. Those teams, if they can get a good result, they should be able to make it through and just hold on to that position barely, but that should be fine. The circle shifting pretty central, a little bit higher up north, a lot of room up north, actually, to hold on to. And Scrim Farm, this is where they had an absolute bloodbath on the first game. They destroyed absolutely everyone in this lobby. Intrigued to see if they're going to try and repeat what happened on that first game. But the Noisy Boys getting really close to GST Europe. Might try and go for a little extra kills along the way, but Gaijin getting surrounded by Time to Shine also towards Headshot Valley. Hopefully, Gaijin will not lose too much because of that position.
As we look with the circles shifting quite centrally towards the south side of the river, Headshot Valley in play. We see Smoker of Nox onto Clay GLA. Could I lose my beard? Could Nox pull out the result of this century? Of course, we'll have to wait and find out. There is a team around the ruins area. Of course, Sensei got sent himself up. Orksan, we saw him previously. Now he's just on a run.
Yeah, took a 1v4 earlier on Sanhok, and now he's going to be pushing on forward towards Clay GLA. Clay GLA, a team that could be also fighting for number 1 position if they get good results, but oh my god, Orksan, this guy. I mean, pick it up in your team. This guy's insane. I think he just got the information. No, don't go for the flush. Aim for the 2 extra kills down below. Picked up 1, picked another one. And that's going to be normally 3 kills going their way. Sendex God from Clay GLA's like, I'm getting out of here. I do not want anything to do versus this Orksan guy. He's just too good.
Take the kills, take the space, take the land, take Erangel, and take the last game of the PMCO EU group stage, Nox. They will want to get as many kills as they can. They will want to create as much space as they can. Still up as a full squad, 3 kills already. I know you might be thinking, but it's only 3 kills, Max. It's only 3 kills, Imperium. But it's 3 less kills. It's 3 more kills as they try to gain as many points to make it into the semi-finals.
As a point of reference, myself and Imperium casted Gamers Without Borders a few months back, an event like was money going towards charities against COVID-19. And at the end, it literally came down to 1 kill point difference. Yeah. And because of that, it was Godlike overtook TSM Entity in first position in the entire tournament. 1 kill made the huge difference. And it could still be the case here. Maybe not for the number 1 position fight. It could be the difference between you qualifying and getting taken out in the bottom 8 teams away from the semi-finals. So you know what? Every kill will indeed count. Every kill might be the opportunity for you to make it further in the full split. But the tension is desperately and extremely high as Nox sending Smoker forward in a very open terrain, which from the north specifically, he could be showing his back over to a team that just rotates randomly and just like, oh, a play in the open. Just going to take that shot. So Smoker, this is a position that I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit skeptical about.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to take too many risks. The thing is, look, at least they are trying to be somewhat dominating. They know they've taken out 3 players from 1 team behind them, so they can focus in another direction on that other angle. And you know what? I'm going to commend them for that. It might not work out. We'll have to wait and find out. At least by that kind of 3-1 split, 2-1 split, however, spreading yourself out, you are getting information which is really going to help them come the next couple of circles. Talking about the next couple of circles, we'll see this next one shine its way through. It goes down the southeast Pachinki endgame.
Could be a Pachinki finish right here. I think that just Europe, definitely, they got one of the better positions. Like the tippity top of the mountain of Pachinki Hill, they got so much control. They see the Noisy Boys, they see BeMyLOOT, also normally 4 Romanian men in the chapel area. That's huge. But we didn't even talk too much about, we're talking about Nox right there and Gaijin. We didn't talk about Universe. They're also the team currently fighting for that top position, trying to fight really for the top 24. They're currently in 26th position. They got 73 points. Few more, 5 points minimum is what they need to try and climb back up in the overall standings. That can make the huge difference on the long run, as Rana got spotted out by Andalito of GSG Europe. Once again, as I said, high ground position, Pachinki heal. I absolutely love it.
So we have seen TSC go down, Carbag Horses, Magic, another team still in the fight to survive the fight to get into the semi-finals. I'd said they need about 24 points. And I think the reason why we really haven't seen too much from the likes of Magic and Universe, why we haven't really talked about it too much, is because they know they need to play safe. They need to make it into the late game max. And that's why they're kind of playing passive and not drawing too much attention to themselves.
Yeah, Romanian Squad going to be pushing on through, going 1 player, 2 players, Ran Hopper, both inside this area. He's actually trying his best to really get the bloodshed once getting kicked into action like game 1, but Romanian Squad will make it pretty easy. That's going to be just fine for them. Talking about Romanian Squad, they are in 7th position in Imperium, also in a very similar position to University, can still pull on through. Unfortunately, Johnny, not sure the intention was there, didn't go for the building, and he's going to be lost instantly. A little bit of miscommunication maybe on that move.
I don't think... Yeah, I'm trying to think of what happened there. If Johnny knew there's BeMyLOOT in those 2 buildings, if Romanian Squad, as you kind of talked about with the possible lack of communication, that they hadn't put that over onto Johnny, we'll have to wait and see. But at least... Romanian Squad still have 3 players. Oh no, Nox are gonna have Scrim Farm right on their doorstep. Knock, knock, knocking with those grenades.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. There you go. I don't know why that music came in my mind. But yeah, Scrim Farm, like Nox, we already lost 2 teams for sure. NCS. Well, I missed it. NCS, that's like no copyright sound music on YouTube. I don't know why they came in mind. TSC Legends, that's the team. Got taken out also. Carabac Horses. Nox might be the 3rd team currently confirmed because of this last game of the day. The stakes are extremely high. Shako put very low, and unfortunately he will bleed to his doom. As Lini's got a very nice off angle. I think might be able to get the angle onto Smoker. Smoker will be able to make it back into the building just in a nick of time. Now here it is. They know they got 1 kill confirmed. They know it's a 3v3. Well, it's actually not going to be really a 3v3. It's a 4v3, but there's still 1 player that's not close enough to really fully commit to this one. So I'll call this a 3v3 for the time being. As some utility will be chucked on over. Unfortunately, not quite in the right building.
There is the Noisy Boys in the background up on towards the high ground of the west that could, possibly get that 3rd party. With the circle shifting down towards Pachinki, edging closer and closer for the last game of the PMCO group stage. Could we see a Pachinki finish with Scrimfarm and Nox outside the circle? Scrimfarm might opt to disengage away and come through on towards the hillside, or what they might want to do is take out Nox so they have more space to rotate in the circle. It's only phase 4, so they can of course afford to soak up a bit more of that tick damage.
Yeah, after when it starts getting towards phase 5, that's when it starts to be not really a kind of comfortable position to be in. Nox thinking about disengaging, which I do like. I think that's definitely one of the positions you want to try and aim for. There's 1 car there the Smoker's looking at. Okay, you learned teleportation. That could be a really good trick to use in these games. Rayan's in from Abstract, maybe trying to stop Nox in their footsteps, but unfortunately, there it is. The shots are going to be slowly connecting on that vehicle. And I find the explosion, though, it seemed like they pick up enough speed, but it's still under so much pressure. Kratos going to be going by foot. Don't kill the Pando. Those are in Voice of Extinction. You want to keep him alive as much as possible, but now the Noisy Boys down the respawning edge of this fight. Is he going to get a little bit more information on Nox? Here it is. Kratos getting a nice surprise onto Ked.
Nice.
Got to try and make the most out of it, though. Can he convert the entire team into Nox? Make it behind that tree. Kratos going to try and potentially deny that res. You know, got to try and go for the engage elusive. Aegon going to find that knock. Now Nox down to only 1 player. That's going to be Kratos. And unfortunately, this might just be the end of Nox. I just still got Oxan, actually.
Up by Kratos. Will that connect on? Not quite confirmed the kill. How did that not go down? And the mask off with that off angle is going to knock down Kratos, Smoker, and Kratos on their knees. That's going to be 1 player left for Nox. Their hopes and dreams hanging on by a thread.
I think they can confirm that kill away. And yeah, Pekko is going to be the one able to find a knock for himself at a distance. The fight's going to be going pretty nicely. Magic, they're coming down. Oh my god, Oxan of Nox. These are kills that could make a difference. On his best, but Oxan is indeed the only 1 player alone left alive for Nox. If he goes down, there you go. That is the end of the path for them. Here it is now. They're all down below. He's got the high ground position. Nox, can you clutch this in a time of desperation? I mean, if you want to clutch it, this is definitely the time to do so. But Pussat is, pushing on his location. Gonna go for a little bit of snaky move. Gonna go for the Uzi. Bray, unfortunately, down 26 bullets. He has to reload. The tension must be so high on the shoulders of Oxan Imperium.
He's got nothing to lose in my eyes. Orkson, in my opinion, has shined through across the PMCO EU group stage. Even if his team doesn't make it, I definitely think he's proven something to himself, and he's proven something to us. Cable cooking up a grenade by the side of the tree. Will that connect onto Orkson?
Not quite able to. But I do agree with your point. Like, he's definitely been one of the standout players of this entire full splits. You know what? If they're able with this team or with another team, maybe. But Orkson, I think, as an individual player, is definitely extremely, extremely skilled and has a lot of true potential in PMCO to really offer. That could. Oh my God, Orkson. Yeah, he saw that nade. Goes right behind. What a sneaky move from him, indeed. It's so close. He's under pressure. Oh my God, he's going to go for the spray. Able to find Cable. Flush it out right now. Goes for it. Nicely done. With the barrel, he's even got a silence, so he's going to be losing one kill potential on the play of Magic. Unfortunately, he's going to be going down Pussat to the blue. Now at least he's just safe on this area. No one can deny his position. He's got Pachinki Hill all for himself.
Max, can I also remind you that this is against another team that are fighting for the top 24 spot? Magic needed 24 points.
Wait.
They need at least a chicken dinner. So them being taken down to just one player, that is really not going to help Magic's cause.
Wait. Where are Universe? Where are Universe? They didn't get to... No, down south. They're down south of the circle. I didn't see that. In the fields of Pachinki. Oh my God, I thought they were dead for a second, because if we didn't see that, actually, they would have been out of the lobby. But that's why I didn't see it, is because they did not die, in fact. They're still here, running strong, looking for this position. Once again, before their game, they were in 26th position with 73 points. But now, Scrim Farm. Ooh, push in on Romanian Squad. Another team that needs a good result. If they want to qualify here, they can't afford to lose this fight versus Scrim Farm. But Scrim Farm getting pushed from the other side. Back into Pachinki. Oh my God. BeMyLOOT absolutely obliterating that attempt from Scrim Farm. And BeMyLOOT, they're like, well, easy peasy.
And you know what? Romanian Squad are just going to go, wait. You know what? We'll do nothing. We'll allow our somewhat neighbors to get the kills.
Unwilling neighbors for sure, but you know what? Neighbors nonetheless. To make a little bit of work out of it. But really, Gaijin, they got so much control. They got a little bit of high ground position. They can third party this as much as they want. Actually pushing away for Romanian men. For Romanian men, they're like, we don't want anything to do about this. We're putting our hands in the air. We're just going to be leaving you all fine and dandy to take control of the chapel area. Smoke's coming out from Romanian Squad. I don't know if that was a Romanian Squad smoke or a Scrim Farm smoke. If it was a Scrim Farm smoke, it's very well thought out, because it would deny visibility away from Romanian Squad. If it's Romanian Squad smoke, it doesn't help them at all.
As far as I know, it's a Romanian Squad smoke. I feel like it was a little bit desperate from a Romanian Squad. They know they need to hold on as GSG onto Universe. Goal touch in the firing line. We'll have to wait and see how that will pan out.
They're dead. I'm pretty sure we just saw Universe go down. There you go. They eliminated. They're out. No semi-finals for Universe, unfortunately. There you go. Now over to another team just attempting to qualify. Gauging. Taking the spray, dealing out the hurt onto Scrim Farm. Might just be able to find a team called Wipeout. But yeah, now we got basically almost 4 teams currently fully eliminated because of this final game. The only team that still has a chance of making on through, well, 2 teams specifically, is Romanian Squad and Gauging. Those 2 teams still are holding on strong to the slim chance of them making it over. And one good game just might be the way for them to make it on over. But Scrim Farmers, they might just die to the blue zone. That will relieve so much more pressure from the northern edge. They might just be able to make it out alive.
Talking about pressure, guys, you're putting the pressure on the Scrim Farm, taking down another one of those players. We do still have Magic in the fold. I will remind you of that as the circle does shift over into the field of Pachinki. The snakes are flying through. We talk about the snakes of Sanhok. What about the snakes of Erangel in phase 6?
The circle god is an evil god. I'm telling you that right now. Romanian Squad, they picked up onto Abstract over Scrim Farm. So you know what? That's an extra kill that might just put him a little bit closer, taking this spot in the semi-finals. Huge plays from them. BeMyLOOT now. Are they going to allow them to rotate away from this? They're going to get quick in the car. Make that rotation inside as soon as they possibly can. Because they know the more they delay it, the more they have a chance of going out early. So here it is. They're going into the blue. Tick down a little bit. But they're going to be losing one player. That's going to be Chris down to only 2. That's going to be Ra and Hopper 7. Going to go for a nice foothold position. Going one by one might not be the better way to do it. As Hopper gets dropped down now, it's all in the hands of Ra.
No.
If they get eliminated here, this might just be the end of their full split adventure Imperium.
I wonder,
Even
though, have
Gaijin.
they given all the grenades over to Ra? Gaijin coming in. They're going to be looking to take the fight against BeMyLOOT. All fight, all flight, as Gaijin is going to see a Dogo get knocked to her knees.
Opa 7 just might go down to because of the blue zone. The blue zone is pushing against him. No way. Wait. Is that the end? Yeah, it is. He gets it confirmed by the play zone. The blue zone confirms and denies the chance, the hopes and dreams of Romanian Squad to make it over. I do believe this might just be the end, Imperium. We'll have to see when you update the standings, but that is not the result Romanian Squad were expecting going into this one. And now gauging. Wiz also a player of Nox. I do believe Roxanne is still remaining in this game. They are the only 2 teams that can make it on through. Gauging under pressure. Dexter finding the shot, confirming the kill onto Meow. You know what? They got 1 player in the circle and he's there alone. I think that this might just be enough for them to qualify. I think they made it, Imperium, because before this game, they went 24th. And I think because of the bad results of all the teams down below of them, I think they made it.
I can also confirm that Romanian Squad have not gotten enough points. We also lost Magic, the last player up. They did not get enough points. But also, if it is just Gaijin that makes it through, that means the teams that weren't playing today, the Real Deal, XTEAM, and BFF, they have also secured their points because Gaijin were in 24th.
For sure, like, the other teams like Best Friends Forever, XTEAM, The Real Deal, they literally needed like 3-4 teams to overtake their position. But because you're like literally 4 teams taken out because of this Erangel game, that's them qualified, I do believe. I think The Real Deal might just be like 23rd, 24th after this one. So it's going to be very, very close. But now Nox, as I said earlier, unfortunately, even if he gets a chicken dinner, the fact that they do not have enough kills is going to be, unfortunately, what is going to be deleting them in this lobby. Nace chucked on over BeMyLOOT. They got the information on Orksan. But I think, yeah, Nox, this is definitely not going to be the kind of game. They needed way more kill points to make it on through.
You know what, though? You know what? They
Respect.
put up a hell of a fight. I respect them so much. The fact that in the last game of the PMCO EU group stage, they're still doing everything they can to extract as many points as they can for Romanian men. They still have a full squad up. We're down to the last 4 teams. The Snakes are trying to make their way into the circle as BeMyLOOT are on the west side.
Yeah, for Romanian men, unfortunately, a little bit of a tricky position, but it is a snake finish over here in Pachinki Fields. Gonna be able to find Andy. Nice up above on that little crate area. This is really well executed from Dexter. He's always that guy that's able to find angles that you just can't really expect. But really, GSG Europe, a little bit unfortunate. They made themselves a mini barricade, but just not even in the circle. So you know what? That is not going to work too good for them. As Orksan's still going to get pushed by BeMyLOOT. The fight is happening. You have no idea who's going to be taking this chicken dinner. WWS or Forum anyone is going to be found out. Same for Dexter. The down to only 1 player. That is going to be Rana. Oh no, I still got another player on the right side. They still got 2 players. That's going to be Rana and Bam as they snake their way closer and closer to GSG Europe.
The backpacks are going to be coming off soon enough. The Pixels are going to be looking to stay in place. Yet to move their feet. Yet to really crouch up. Grenades are being flying up by GSG to try and create some space. They are the closest. They are the team that are probably most out in the open if you really look at this train.
It's definitely going to be a bit tricky for them to hold a good position over here. 6 kills going over to BeMyLOOT. You know what? A good way to close it up, even though they did qualify their position in the overall standings. They're looking great. But he's still checked on over. Oh my god, Orksan, he's just like getting bullets flying right over his head. He's like, oh, please don't see me, don't see me. He doesn't like it. Oh my god, he's got Kamara in the distance. And now Orksan trying his best. I think, wait, no. Lardy's right there, right in front. No way. He's going to be taking his weapon away. And Orksan strikes and he finds the kill. Now the information's been given away. He's going to go for the random spray onto Pain. Puts him solo. 1 more bullet will do its bidding. Spray once more. He finds it. Orksan, that's just what he needs. Picking up so far 8 kills. If he can clear the lobby, it might happen. And he clears it. Orksan, how many clutches can he do in 1 day?
10 kills for Nox. Looking for GSG. Have you exposed yourself? Yes, you have, but what a fight. 3rd place and 10 kills. That's going to be 24 points for Nox in that game. What an end. What an end, even though they haven't qualified.
Damn, I'm still impressed. Respect plus, just like in GTA for me. Now, for Romanian men, they're going to be the team taking the fight versus GSG Europe. They're going to be losing first player. That's going to be Bam. The molly comes on through just to make him nice and roasted. Now Rana is going to be left alone. 1v2 scenario versus GSG Europe. Kamara and Rafik do they have the information. They're good for random sprays right now. They know they got the man advantage. They see how many players are still alive in the lobby. Oh, they're so close yet. So far, those bullets almost able to connect it onto Rana.
They only have 10 seconds until they have to move in from phase 8. They have the higher ground, which is why they're able to spot out 4 Romanian men.
Oh my god, the pressure is so high for this final game. Who's going to be closing off the group stage in style? Who shall be taking this final chicken dinner? After that, we'll be going onto a break until Friday. So you know what? You want to try and end it on a pretty sweet note. As the GSG Europe, actually, they haven't had too much utility going their way. So you know what? They still got a lot to use to make their way into the circle. Runner now, I think he was not really expecting that tricky play. He was not expecting so many smokes to still be in the pack of GSG Europe. This might just be the surprise that Rano is not really expecting. As I think that now GSG doing the smart play of trying to split a little bit more evenly, cover as much ground as possible to take those 2 angles onto Rana so he can't fight well. But Rana, look at Rana, was the M249. I just realized. I mean, that's way more enough bullets to take a clutch there. Oh, take the first spray down. Rana going to be taking 1, picking up maybe it's second up to Kamara. Now the information has yet to be given over. Rana, oh my god, the sprays, they're so close. He can't find it. It's like a battle of guns, but with a blindfold getting involved. Imperium gonna try and maybe go for the kill confirm onto Rafik. He's gonna go down. Spray hits 1, hits 2. The spray is gonna be finalizing. Rana just so damn low. Yeah, now he's gonna go for a secondary spray, and it's gonna be GSG Europe taking his kill, taking the entire chicken dinner to close it off. 8 kills over to Rafik. What a performance. I mean, what a finish that was, Imperium. I loved every single second of it.
Oh my god. What a way to finish on the fields of Pachinki. GSG, they started their PMCO EU run with a fantastic double chicken dinner day, and they've ended their PMCO EU group stage with a chicken dinner. Of course, helped by the fact that so many teams around them on the northwest and east were taking each other out as the circles closed in around Pachinki.
Well, you know what? Hopes and dreams have been shattered for a lot. And I mean a lot of these squads. If I'm not mistaken, this game alone eliminated 5 teams.
Yeah.
They were attempting to make it through 4 or 5 teams, so very unfortunate. We'll have to check the overall standings. I don't want to speculate beforehand, and I want to make sure that we get everything right before we do dive into the overall standings. But what a game. And especially, even though Nox, we know for a fact, even though we haven't even checked the standings so far, we know for a fact that Nox have not qualified. But Orksan, what a way to go out. I know I said this a lot, you know, going out with a bang, but literally here, he went out with like one of the most spectacular bangs I've ever seen. Orksan today, the clutch machine. Savage X would be proud.
For those about to Orksan, I salute you. Simple as that. It was just what a way to end a run for Nox. You know, because we always try and, you know, see the positive side, right? We know how much these teams overall work hard to get to where they are, how much time and effort they put in, and we'll always show respect when it's given, and that was an incredible run by Orksan in the last game. And the whole of the Nox team, they took out multiple players, they took out multiple sides. You know, maybe they shouldn't have disengaged away from Scrim Farm like that, but they had to take that risk, they had to make that call, and they did. It didn't work out for 2 of their players. It was left to Orksan, and Orksan put up a hell of a run to get 3rd place in that game with 10 kills.
As you can see with Imperium's background, you know, confetti in the air for a few of these teams, but also tears on the cheeks of many others. So with that said, Imperium, we're going to check out, of course, first the tippity top of the standings, because I know you guys can't wait. You want to see who's qualified. So you know what? We shall not wait anymore. Let's check the top 16 teams right now. Top 16 team, God Sent shall remain kings of the lobby. 199 points, just above GSG Europe. They almost were able to clutch their way back into this one. Only 5 points shy on that one, very unfortunately. But you know what? Still one respectable attempt from GSG Europe to reclaim that #1 position. And the Noisy Boys in currently 3rd spot.
And that's part of the reason why I slightly put an emphasis on GSG starting and ending on a high note, because that middle part, that day 2 for GSG, it was quite weak. And I was thinking, coming into this last day, I was thinking, are GSG going to pull off? I'm not going to say you do gank, because it was never going to be as bad as that, but you know, getting a strong day 1, but then falling down from there, especially coming into the semi-finals where it's only 8 games instead of 12 games. But credit where it's due, popping up on that last game to get the chicken dinner puts him in 2nd place ahead of the Noisy Boys. Clay GLA also putting up a hell of a fight in 161 points. However, looking into the semi-finals, it is still 29 points behind the Noisy Boys. So it's something that I know they'll want to improve on. They'll want to be much closer to the top of the standings.
Yeah, I think Claire GLA going a bit like, nanny, how do we get up there? It was only one chicken dinner. Very surprising. You know what? Still a very respectable attempt from Claire GLA. And I'm sure they got a lot more to show us into the upcoming few weeks. With that said, Imperium, I think it's time for us to go check out the teams who unfortunately have not qualified, and hopefully we'll be seeing them in the spring split of 2021. Let's go. Transition time. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Here are our bottom 16 teams. So the teams that are going to be unfortunately eliminated from bottom to the top is going to be Karabakh Horses, vFOR, Nox, TSC Legends, Magic, Romanian Squad, Universe, Lack Nostra Power will not be going to the next stage. Those are 8 teams currently disqualified in the group stage, and now 24 teams still remain.
Eliminated just like that. Their PMCO run ends. 4 points was all it would have taken Lack Nostra Power yesterday. 4 more points. Because it's not like the real deal we're playing today. It's not like XTEAM we're playing today. It's not like BFF we're playing today. We always talk about how every point counts, how every game counts, how consistency is so important in the world of PUBG Mobile. Lack Nostra Power got a chicken dinner. There's no reason why they shouldn't have qualified. But that is it. They didn't make it, along with the 7 other teams of Universe, Romanian Squad, Magic, TSC, Nox, vFOR, and Karabakh Horses, like you said.
I think the Universe will be a little bit green after that, checking out the scores. They were just 5 points behind. Literally 5 points. If they would have got equal standings with the real deal, because they had more kill points, they would have made it. But literally, they just died early there, unfortunately, into the later stages, and they just did not make their way through. But still, you've got to give still a lot of respects to these teams. Like, you know, bottom 8, even though you get eliminated over here in the group stage, do not forget that you made it as the top 32 best teams in all of the European region. So that is still an achievement. That is way better position than myself and Imperium will never be in our lifetime in PUBG Mobile competitive. So of course, still be really proud of yourself in that one. You can flex it. You can put it on your Twitter bio. I will allow it. You will get that 20% muscle increase.
Like at the end of the day, the one of the biggest differences between teams at this stage of the game there is some difference in individual skill, of course, but the main difference is mentality, right? The right attitude at the right moment and the right, you know, kind of mindset is so much more valuable. Because like I played with the guys from Romanian Squad, I played with the guys from Lack Nostra Power. I've seen how kind of fun they are as well, and how passionate, how good they are as players. And that's what I said, like, you know, if they have the same amount of synergy and you know, maybe kind of mindset, bar kind of strategies and play styles and preparation, but if they have the same mindset overall as the likes of Time to Shine, Noisy Boys, Scrim Farm, they can be up there. So, but look, you know, it's up to them. Like you said, I hope all of these teams that are eliminated in the bottom 8 come back stronger, learn from their mistakes, and rise again to the top of EU.
Well, a few of these teams will say it was their first performance going into the official esports scene of PUBG Mobile. So definitely, you know what? Rome was made in a day. It's still very hard to make your way through for your very first esport performance. It's still a really good experience, I would say, and something you can try and grow upon and build upon in the future, going on by into the PUBG Mobile esports ecosystem. Still, thank you very much for coming around, guys, and I'm sure we'll see a lot of you in the future. But with that said, that's it for the broadcast today, Imperium. Not much really to add up. But you know what? I'm going to add a little something. You know what? You said having a fun time checking out the broadcast today. Like, you know what? I might want to try and get involved. I think I can be part of these top 24 teams to qualify for the semi-finals. Well, you know what? Might have just the opportunity for all of you people like that at home, as now you can head on over to another tournament, which is the PUBG Mobile European National Cup 2020 edition. You guys like, you know what? I want to be a part of this ecosystem. Head on over to discord.gg/PMNCEU. I don't know why I said it like that, but PMNSCEU. And you'll be able to sign up your team. 4 or 5 players, that's all you need to try and make your way into that tournament. And it will be grand for you to be able to also climb your way through into PMCO through this tournament. Because yes, indeed, this tournament allows you to make it into PMCO for next season.
It does indeed. It's as it's aptly named national tournament. It is by nationality. So the team that makes you up is players from the same country as you. So you join together, you do the qualifications. If you are the #1 team of your country, you make it through to the national finals. And in the national finals, those 16 teams, those 16 countries, the top 3 will grab a spot in the 2021 PMCO Spring Split. That's it. You'll have it. That's it. Secured, tagged and bagged, move over to the security line, get on that flight, and join up in next year's PMCO Spring Split.
Yeah, so if an Irish team is looking for a player, apparently Imperium is free agent right now, so definitely you want to hit him up in the DMs. And also if you're looking for a French player, I'm just around the corner. But with that said, yeah, that's the end of the broadcast. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming around. Imperium, I don't know if I have any ending statement for us to fathom on our ears before we do cut off the stream.
Semi-finals time, baby. Next weekend, it all starts again, right? The teams reset to 0. 3 days, 8 games for each team, and only 16 teams will make it through to the finals. I can't wait to watch it because I know these teams are going to give it absolutely everything.
It's going to be intense. With that said, thanks so much for watching, boys and girls. We'll be back on Friday next week, Friday the 11th, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. Indeed, Friday the 11th. We'll be back at 9 p.m. CST if you're a European boy. And if you're somewhere else, just check, just convert it because I'm really bad with time zones. My name was Imperium. Join with my... My name was Maxman. Join with Imperium. We'll be back on Friday for some more PUBG Mobile semi-finals esports action. Bye-bye.
Roy's countering. Percocet gets the knock.
Oh, another one.
Quick counter.
The trade. Sam with the drop shot from behind. Unsuccessful on that. J7 coming in for the support.